Hey everyone, welcome to the Dragon's Lair. You've got Sam and Chris with you tonight. Hope everybody is doing well. Chris, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you.
You as well, Sam.
Thank you, bud. Let's see who is in here and say hello to everyone real quick. So we have Marco. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Henry, good to see you as well, my friend. Sergeant Maximus, what is up? You've got Ramsey Silent. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Ground Fog, thanks for coming in. Deadhead, good to see you. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us. Clint Crosby, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with us. Kelly's Mishmash, how are you, Kelly? Good to see you. Brown Sugar's in here. Good to see you, Brown Sugar. Thank you for coming in and hanging out. Faithful EDC's in here. Good to see you, Faithful. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Mo Patty, what is going on, Trish? Good to see you. Whoa, gentlemen. Hey, hey, hey. Easy with those words. It's me flying slurs around here. This is a family program. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Let's see. We got a couple others that came popping in here. James Hoyt is in here. Good to see you. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Projectiles are sharp is here. Could have sworn. Oh, there he is. I knew I saw Volt. Volt's in here as well. Good to see you, Volt. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Appreciate you. Oh man, Mind and Milton popping in early. What's up, Mind and Milton? Good to see you. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Hope all is doing well with everybody. So, um, my daughter started school this week. Yeah, it's early. They start early in Indiana, and for some reason or another, they started on a Monday, which they usually never do. They usually start like on a Wednesday or a Thursday, and they give like a shortened week for the first week for kids. So I am like super dragging ass this week because it's like 2 hours less of sleep, and then all that kind of stuff. So, um, if I am not super lively the entire time, just know that I apologize in advance. I am trying to adjust the sleep schedule accordingly. Chris, your daughter is starting what, next week or the week after?
No, she actually starts this. They're starting on a Friday, so
Oh, they start this week on Friday. All
yeah.
right.
Yeah, my daughter goes to a private school, so it's a little bit different. But about all the public schools here have already started. I
Yeah.
uh, I left this morning and saw the kids out standing at the school bus, and it made me giggle. And I was just like, it's been a while since I've been outside by before 7 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you. Sanders G's in here. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us tonight. Silver Trails Outdoors is here. What is going on, my friend? Good to see you, Dragoon. All I made yet another live. Telling your boss to suck eggs really does shorten 2 week notice. Yeah, man. So, um, big news coming out of the Dragoon camp. He has put in his notice and apparently told his boss to suck eggs. So he's 2 week notice is shortened. And he is going full time with Tenable.
Nice, man.
So
Congratulations.
very, very cool. Congratulations on that, Dragoon. I wish you nothing but the best there, my friend. That's a very cool gig. I would love to work for, a knife company like full time, but then again, at some degree, I guess I do.
Yeah, they didn't offer you a job, so you just made a company.
Yeah, yeah. Screw them. I'll just do it the hard way. Um, so listen, I wanted to do something real quick, and so I'm going to do a couple of things. First thing I want to do is I'm going to put in the corner of the chat, I'm going to put a QR code. Okay. The second thing I'm going to do is the link to that QR code, in case it's not clear for everybody. I'm going to drop it in chat, and then I'm going to pin the comment. Okay. Go to that web address, okay, that is going to be the link to a giveaway that we're going to do tonight. So it's been a little while since Chris and I have done a giveaway on the channel. We have some cool stuff to give away. We're going to do it. We usually do milestone ones, but at the same time, we hit 1,000 subs right around the same time our pre-orders were hitting and everything else. So we kind of flooded everything all at one time. And we really kind of went all out with that. And so I realized that I had something sitting here to do a giveaway with, and I didn't ever give it away. So I want to do the giveaway tonight. So I hope everybody is looking forward to checking out what I've got. I will show you all in just a moment here, but I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to announce it beforehand. Everybody that comes in and whatnot, please, it doesn't matter if it's your first time here or not, enter the giveaway. You're welcome to. There are simple rules, which are, obviously you have to be a subscriber to the channel. You have to be here when we do the drawing, and you have to be 18 years of age, and you have to live in the continental United States. If you don't live in the continental United States, have a proxy, somebody that I can send it to in the US that will send it to you. Okay. Those are pretty much the rules on this one. I'm going to keep it very, very simple for everybody, so that everybody can be participating in the giveaway. Let's see. Michael Miller's in here. What's going on? Hello, hello. Welcome in. Appreciate you coming and hanging out with us tonight. So what do we have for a giveaway? Monster Hunter, what's going on, man? Good to see you. So let's see here. Grab this stack of stuff here. We have the normal swag pack. I've got, let's see, I've got one of Kelly's Mishmash's paracords in here, a mini monkey fist. I've got a Rebel Rouser 777 bracelet in here. We've got a Devo bottle opener keychain. We've got a bunch of stickers from a lot of the channels around here, just to name a few: Help with Gadgets, Unprofessional Dad, New Breed EDC, Kelly's Mishmash is in here, Fred the Lugs in here. So I will throw a couple of Wyvern Kodiak stickers in here as well for everyone.
Hey, Sam, are there any restrictions for that?
As far as what?
Entering.
Just named them.
Well, you didn't exclude me, so I'm gonna put my name in the hat.
All right, if you want to. I'm just not gonna let you win. I'm gonna redraw if you win. So you suck. You're not allowed to. This is, you know what? Let me blow the screen up because this is just silly. This is a Band-Aid pack from Devo Knives. So cool little Band-Aid pack, and when they're empty, you can stick some more Band-Aids in there. I keep these like in my glove compartment and stash them in different drawers in the house. Let's face it, I play with knives all day long. You know damn well I'm cutting myself from time to time. So these come in really, really helpful and handy, and we're going to toss in one of those. We are going to toss in a i3E EOS flashlight right here. So cool little flashlight, little pocket job flashlight here. So we'll toss that in. We have a cool string bag from Demko Knives, a little zipper in the front here and a string bag here. So
those are nice. Those are nice bags.
Yeah, they are good quality bags. So got one of those. I got a couple of them, but this is the one we're giving away tonight. We'll use the other ones for another giveaway. And then the last thing that we're going to give away is going to be, if I can get it out of the box, brand new in the box, customized Best Tech Platypus is the model on here. So very cool knife. This is customized by our buddy. What boy? I'm terrible, Jimmy Crow. I'm sorry, Jimmy, if you are watching this. I told you I am half asleep on my feet, and so very cool knife there. And Jimmy Crow was really kind enough to give us the knife to give away on the channel, so donated by him. And I let me see if I have the details on this knife here. It is D2. You know, those are the original, so stone wash and satin. But since he customized it, it's no longer stone wash and satin, right? But cool knife. He did a really nice job on it, and that is the other giveaway for this. So make sure that you jump in there and sign up on that link, and we will draw that. I don't know, probably an hour or so. We're not gonna. I'm gonna try not to go super late tonight. I know I say that every week, right? But we'll give it a shot. We'll give it the old college try and see if we can actually do that. So
Yeah, it's 9:16 now. I figure we could probably run to 9:22 and call it a night.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Let's see here. Miranda Keith, how are you? Good to see you. Every evening, everyone working and lurking. That's cool. Lurk away. Just make sure that you get in on the giveaway, please. Don't miss out on that. So, all right. So, um, we got 25 in here, so we're building slowly, which is cool. So, Chris, I've been doing a lot of brainstorming and thinking lately. Not as much pencil to paper designing that I normally do. And I've been doing some designs for some other designers as well, working with them to try and help them to get their designs put together. But um, I've been thinking about our roles as designers. And I thought it would be a cool conversation to have tonight, is kind of just a little bit more inside thought, if you will, on that. And so I thought maybe we can have a small discussion maybe on some of the design aspects and elements that we go through, and what our thinking is and stuff like that. And then I'd like to get some feedback from our community as well on um, on design stuff. So um, before we get into that, I did want to address actually James Hoyt's question here. Any Gracchus updates to share? So James, I did send out a newsletter on the 20th. I believe it was the 20th of July. And the latest and greatest from that one was that they have all the blade blanks and handle blanks cut out, and that they were moving to machining the handles and grinding the blades before going into finish. Now, I don't want to be a royal hassle all the time and just constantly sending them emails. Where's updates? Where updates? So I'm trying to keep it a few weeks apart from each other before asking for updates. Give them time to actually make some sort of progress somewhere that's worth providing updates to the community and to the folks that are signed up for our newsletters and stuff like that. So with that said, I don't have any new updates because I haven't asked for any. I will be asking for some pretty soon, but I do want to give it another, I don't know, probably 10 days or so. And then I'm going to ask them for an update so that I can kind of keep everybody in the loop with that stuff. But I want to give them some time to make meaningful progress and actually have some sort of interesting update. And they've also promised that along the ways they were going to give me continued pictures. They would give me some videos of the machining and stuff like that. So as they're doing that, I'm going to put those into the newsletter and include those so everybody can kind of see the progress as it's unfolding with us. You've been with us on the journey. We've purposely put you in the ride with us. And so when we're seeing things, we want you to see them as well. So that's how we're gonna continue doing this. So yeah, that's the latest and greatest.
And those of you that don't know Sam intimately, let me tell you how proud of him I am. For what he just said. Sam's sense of urgency is somewhere around Bart Simpson with wanting a response. Like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Yeah, he usually wants his answers immediately, if not sooner. And Dragoon, I'm playing with it now, buddy. So
in other lives, just a funny side note here. Other lives, okay. Dragoon has been absolutely hysterical with his backhanded and in all fun, nothing rude or anything, just backhanded comments about the Gracchus and packaging it up and sending it to him, and it's just very, very funny stuff. And every time I see him in there, it is making me just it literally makes me laugh. So
it almost
very,
makes me
very
want to. It almost makes me want to order a second one just so he and I can both have one.
I still have one over here from the old version as well. So
no, he wants this handle. This version, okay. But also this handle too.
Gotcha. Okay, understood. Mo, Patty, how old are your kiddos? So my youngest, who just got into high school, is 14. She will be 15 in October. And then I've got two older stepkids that are 26 and almost 29. So my stepson will be 29 in a few days. So that is my side over here.
Let me
your
count.
Turn. Oh boy.
36,
Chris just adopts random kids off the street at this point, I think.
I'm a child hoarder. 37, 35, 34, 33, 30, 28, 27, 23, 22, and 11. So.
Yeah, I saw a funny meme one time where they had a long family like that, and then somebody like scratched on the glass, like, get off of her, leave her alone.
Yeah, there's
was that your car?
There's a few of us. Yeah.
A few of you. You got the Brady Bunch and their neighbors.
And then some. Yeah.
What's going on, Rolf? Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us. Deadhead, appreciate you, man. Yeah, lurk away, buddy. Just make sure that you all are getting in on that giveaway. I pinned the link down in the comments or in the chat. So make sure you get in on that and make sure that you get a fair shake at this. It's a cool knife and some cool extra swag coming along with it. Mama Loot, what's going on? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us tonight. So like I was saying, we were I want to kind of talk a little bit about design and kind of let everybody kind of get in our heads a little bit tonight when it comes to that stuff. So Chris, we've talked about this plenty of times, right? I'm the drawer and I will put a lot of that stuff to paper and then start throwing things your direction, and then you start challenging me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so your initial reaction when you first see one of my drawings for the very first time, I send you a text and I say, "Hey, Chris, I'm working on something," and chances are Chris goes, "Oh shit, not again." And then after that, after he stops crying because he knows that 3 o'clock in the morning he's going to get a text message from me, but after that, he usually will wait for that picture to come through. And then what will your first thing be? What do you typically go from there?
So I have tried to change because I knew that I was upsetting you with my initial questions. So I've really been trying to stop and interpret first and evaluate the knife. But prior, my very first thought was, what are you cutting? What problem are you solving for? Those were thought one and thought two. What, was there a problem with a different kind of knife? Um, did a similar kind of knife miss in one element of mechanical soul or more? And so now you're fixing a design. Is this something a brain shot, something just new and developed in your mind? And if so, was there some sort of challenge that you were trying to overcome? And what are you trying to cut? What's the design intent? EDC is kind of our thing, all right? We will do some hunting and skinning stuff. I mean, that's not a problem, but EDC is typically what you and I both gravitate to because it's what we like. And so that's where I first go, because my next thought after that is, functionally, this is the intent. Now let me start thinking about blade thickness, because I can't see that on a flat piece of paper. So now I
Correct.
have to start thinking about blade thickness. I start thinking about just the functionality of it. Is this designed to be heavy duty? If so, is the handle designed for that? Does it fit in the hand right? Does it lock you in? And what blade steel? Because that's what blade steel and what geometry. So that's really the things that just flood my mind as soon as I open up a picture.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely, and I don't think you upset me. You know when you upset me, Chris, and this is just me honest, okay?
Mhm.
If I'm working on a design for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and you've gone ahead with the whole like, yeah, this is cool. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it looks good. And then all of a sudden it becomes like I'm finishing up or I'm putting on some touches on the thing, and all of a sudden it's like something else hits you about the design that and it doesn't work for you or something. And it's like, dude, I feel like I pissed 3 weeks away. And
Well,
it's like, that's, I think, when I get frustrated. J1 Doobie, good to see you, man. Thanks for coming in and hanging out.
well, let me address that, because it's not that something in the design doesn't work for me. Usually I'm brainstorming all the way through.
Yeah, no, I know you are. I know you are. Trish, he already does. You can see that when I send him a message, it's like this is in like after hours silence mode, and I'm like, yep, I did that.
10 p.m. to 6 a.m. every day, my phone goes into silent mode. But if Sam
Um,
called me, he would get through. He's on the exception list for calls, but not for texts.
Yeah, no, and I wouldn't. I mean, unless it was an emergency, I wouldn't dare call you after hours like that. Like, heck, even during the day, like when it isn't after hours, I usually send you a message and say, "Hey, can you talk?" Because otherwise, most of our communication is just 200 texts a day. I mean,
Yeah,
thank God
yeah,
for free texting now.
yeah.
Yeah, Dragoon, I don't take it personal, man. I think it's funny. I love that you like the design and that that you support us and everything like that. Like, dude, I think it's hilarious, man. I mean, you always give me a chuckle. We're in Burning Stables Forges one last time when you said something, and I mean, I thank God I didn't have a mouthful of a drink or something like that. Or I would have been all over my
I
computer screen. It was hysterical.
The same thing too. I read it as silly, and man, Ramses, look at you. Check out Ramses' chat.
I'm looking. I'm trying.
Oh, it'll stick out like a sore thumb.
Oh, did I hear a Kodiak roar? You definitely will hear a Kodiak roar. Thanks, my dude. I
Thank you, sir.
appreciate you so very, very much. You are awesome, and you definitely deserve a. Well, I have it listed as a dragon roar, but I guess it could be a Kodiak roar, right?
Or maybe um, yeah.
$2 super chat. You're the best, brother.
Thanks,
Certainly,
sir.
we definitely do appreciate you, and everything you do, buddy.
So there's a couple things here on that is when you first send me something and you get an idea, you're still developing it. And if I ask too many questions, you're just like, what the hell? I've spent 12 minutes on this so far. And then later on, if I wait too long, it's like, what the hell? How come you didn't bring that up? You're 12 minutes in.
Well,
So
I think so. So here's the here, and you're right, right? I
but
agree with you with what you're saying.
we're texting, so there's not a sweet spot to know where each of us are at in our mental process.
Correct. I think when you start to see repeats of my pictures, okay, you start to see where the dialing in becomes a
Hmm.
factor, and at that point is when I want you to start speaking up, right? That is
Yeah.
when I want you to say, hey dude, this is what I'm thinking, this is a problem I foresee, this is something, right? But like, I mean, I literally was dialing in locking mechanisms. I figured out stop pin placement. I did all kinds of stuff on that last one. And when you said that, I was, dude, I was so mad.
I don't see it bothered you, and I don't even know which one you're talking about because we do this all the time. What
Yeah, I'll send you a picture of it. So I'll tell you this much, and maybe this will jog your memory. It was the one that Geo Knife wanted from us, but they wanted it to be a crossbar lock, and I told them when they want to make a real person's lock, and they want to use frame locks or liner locks like a normal person with a detent, that they can work with us. But until then, they're not going to get us as designers. And that's when they turned around and said they would make a liner lock. And that's
Yeah.
when, and then right afterwards was when I started tightening up everything. And I was like, okay, I've got this all dialed in. I've got it figured out. I put a, I even made sure that I positioned it in a way to build an internal stop pin on this thing and everything. I was like, oh, I'm a happy camper right here. And then I sent it to you and you were like, you just pooed all over it. And I was like,
Well,
ugh.
I I don't feel that. Like I said, for me, it was like, did you consider this, and this? You could have easily said considered and no, then go with what I was thinking. I'm usually just trying to, did you look at all the things that I typically look at? And that's all.
But the thing is, I don't. And that much I know for sure. Right? That's
Yeah.
not where my mind goes. I leave
Yeah.
those things to you for a reason, because that is so much more on top of what I am already doing with that design,
Yeah.
that the amount of work when you can't get certain things on a design dialed in, meaning you can't get the stop pin placement to sit without causing a problem within the finger choil, or you want an internal stop pin but you don't have enough space within the handle to do it, and so you've got to figure out how to make that work, or whatever it might be. um, that is a that is something that sucks time. I mean, dude, how many redraws I've had to do to get something to do to work. I mean, for lack of a better term, is it's overwhelmingly frustrating sometimes, where I've literally redrawn the same knife 27 times in one night, and it's
Did
like,
what I
gosh.
did what I say make you go, I should have designed that differently, or we should have incorporated this earlier? Is that
Yes.
is that the frustration point? Okay.
That's the frustration point, is because the things you were pointing out were things that if you would have pointed it out 3 weeks earlier in a different spot in my design, I would have changed everything. So now
Mm.
the engineering of the knife literally has to change. So I might as well throw it out and start from the beginning if that doesn't work. And you're not wrong. It's just I'm relying on you to be the brains sometime of you know, when I'm not thinking about certain other elements that don't have to do necessarily with designing, meaning
Because
the
there's
aesthetic
so
part
much.
of it.
Yeah, there's so much to it. It's not just.
It's
Yeah,
insane. Yeah, it truly
yeah.
is a crazy amount that goes into it. Now, I mean, I've talked to a lot of people before about this, and I mean, heck, Chris, we've talked about this too. The Gracchus was 90 hours on paper to get that dialed in. 90 hours because that blade shape is just doesn't exist anywhere. And so it's like trying to figure out how to fit it, try to handle the blade ratio right, how to make it so that hey, when it comes down and it fits, are you going to cut your hand somewhere like in the back over here, a la MSI? You
Yeah.
know, all those types of things that
What a garbage design. Anyway, go ahead. It could have been such a good knife. What a garbage design.
yeah, they can easily fix it too, and that's the sad part because aftermarket scales does fix it, right? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
um, Beth Wright Voorhees, good to see you. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with us. Appreciate you. Drop Beacon, Matt, what's going on, dude?
What's
Good
up,
to
sir?
see you. If you haven't noticed, by the way, there is um, a link pinned in the chat right now that is for the giveaway. We're doing it through Drop Beacon tonight, by the way. So we're going to experience that for the first time together, everyone. So if you don't mind, go ahead and jump in there and enter the giveaway. It's going to be really cool. And I'll go through what we're giving away again in a couple of minutes because we've had quite a bunch of people kind of come in and whatnot. So,
And I'd say real quick, let me address J1 Doobie said something about my shirt. And thanks, man. I was in one of Clayton's lives, and there was somebody in there, One Moon Collection on Etsy, was having some tough times and was just asking for people to pick up a shirt to help him out. And so I ordered it, and I really like it. It took a while to come in because he doesn't actually screen print them and do it himself. You know, he places the order and gets them going. But yeah, I got it after a couple of weeks, and it worked out really well. I enjoy it.
cool, man. Adventure 50, good to see you, man. I'm here for the coffee and pie. I was told there would be coffee and pie. Farva, is that you? What's going on, buddy?
And he
Good to
wants
see
it
you.
right meow.
Right, meow.
Yeah, right meow.
Greg Farrakas, good to see you, man. Clear communication during collaboration is always a challenge, particularly with asynchronous email, text, written word, etc., where emotion tends to be projected by the reader. Yeah, you're
I feel
100%
like
correct.
we
And
just had to sit down with HR.
well, and it's funny that you say that because I mean, you and I are both in telecommunications. And how many times have we probably had a conversation along the lines of, why are we failing at communicating as a communications company, right?
Yeah.
So, interesting bit and logical input there, Greg, for sure. Um, I've cut my palm 3 times with the Kunmu
Mm-hmm.
Chad. Terrible design. Now that you mentioned the MSI, that's funny.
Yeah.
Chris cut himself with a Chad
Mm-hmm.
in 2025 Blade Show, and Lily at
But
Kunmu had to stitch him up or wrap him up like a damn mummy at the table. He was dripping.
but I did blame that on the MSI because I cut myself the MSI already, so I was holding every knife different.
Yeah,
So I
yeah, and that's
maybe the
true. You
Chad's
could have
got
been
that.
messing with it.
Yeah, or maybe the Chad just has a fail there too. It's one of those things when you really start playing with the handle and knife shape and how things come together. Man, I mean, you've got a very small window that if you're off, it's terrible.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that is one of the things that experiencing it myself, watching you go through it, seeing other people go through it has made me sensitive to that in its own right where when I'm putting designs together, that's one of the things I constantly do is I'll put it to my hand and I'll say, okay, if I'm closing this and I'm holding it this way, like here, here's an example, right? This is how I'm gonna hold this knife. And when I close it, am I in a situation where the blade is anywhere near me over here? Like this one, no, but you know, just that
when
I'm
when
very much aware of those things.
when I become the emperor of the knife community, one of the first things I'm going to mandate is that every knife have a backspacer, and that backspacer have a tunnel on it, so the knife comes down into that perfectly, and you can't cut yourself that way unless you put your hand.
Yes, my lord. Trish dropped One Moon Collective shop
Oh, sweet.
link in here, which is awesome. Thank you for doing that, Trish. Appreciate you. Folks, if you're looking for some really cool shirts, One Moon Collective shop has some really good stuff there. Go and check it out and help one of our fellow members in the knife community. One Moon Collective is very supportive to a lot of channels and a good friend of many channels. So if you are looking for some cool shirts, go over there and check them out.
I enjoy it. The quality's nice.
Yeah, he does good stuff. Let's see. Sam, question. I missed the part about the Gracchus start coming in if you have that info. Yeah, Monster Hunter. Basically what I was saying was they as of my last update from Best Tech, they had all the blades and handles cut out, so they're blanks, and they were moving to the CNC machining process next. I don't ask for updates very, very consistent. And trust me when I tell you, Chris went into it. I am like horrible about that. I have to sit on my hands constantly and not send them emails and be like, what's the latest and greatest? Like they're going to send me an email and be like, dude, you asked me that yesterday. So I try to give them a few weeks in between asking for updates because I don't want to micromanage the situation and not allow them to make meaningful progress by bothering them constantly. So I am intending to ask for the next update in the next 10 days or so. And then when I get that update, I will be putting out another newsletter to everybody that is signed up for the newsletter that will provide the latest and greatest and whether we are still on schedule. The last update that I had, we were still very much on schedule for our timelines, which would put us into very early fall. So late September-ish, early October-ish was the numbers that we were calculating on that. Now, based on how many we ordered and things like that, there's that's about the sweet spot right there. I would love to say they're going to beat that timeline. I've not seen too many manufacturers do that, so I'm going to go with let's just err on the side of caution and believe that it's going to be in October sometime, and I will keep everybody posted as I get information. You all will get information. Chris and I have been adamant about being transparent with the community on this project and bringing you all along for the ride. So as soon as literally the day I get that information, I literally turn to the computer screen next to me and I begin writing that newsletter. So it will go out the very same day that I get that information. You all will get that information. So you will be in lockstep with Chris and I.
Hey, welcome in, Fred.
Fred the dog's here. I'm a little behind, so
Yeah.
I apologize. I'm trying to catch up a little bit here, and then we'll get back. There we are. Fred the Lug, good to see you, man. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us. On the Edge EDC, what is going on, Mike? Appreciate you coming in and hanging out, dude. Good to see you.
Great stickers.
Yeah, man. If anybody is looking for channel stickers or something like that, reach out to Mike on the Edge EDC. Makes some really killer stickers. If you go to his Instagram page and you look in his feed, you'll see that he made our stickers for the Gracchus. So the Gracchus, if you ordered a Gracchus, you will get a Gracchus sticker with your knife. One will be included in every knife box, as well as a Wyvern Kodiak sticker. So just a brand sticker will be in there as well. So really excited, and they look outstanding, and it's going to be very cool. As a matter of fact, I think it might have been delivered today, and I just haven't gotten to open the package because as soon as I got off of work, I went out, and it's been a real crazy day for me today. What? Did we lose Chris? Are you frozen? Bueller, man down. Chris, help! There.
Am I here?
Now you're back.
I
You
was saying
scared me. I thought a bear got you.
Yeah, a hunter. Can you highlight Trish's comment at 9:44?
Whoops. I will if I can click on the right thing. I will send you my new address. I will be in Alabama by then. Yeah, absolutely.
If you can get us a McNeese pass to come toward the factory, we might hand deliver it to you. I don't know if Jonathan
as a matter of fact, Trish,
let our knife in there.
It was funny that you say that, Chris, because Trish said something about Alabama today in Clayton's Live. And I thought to myself, I should totally ask Trish if we can go down and see if we can get like a walkthrough at McNeese. And it would be like really cool to do like a content thing with that, right? Don't get me wrong. He's done them himself, right? I don't think we're going to outpace Jonathan McNeese in content when it comes to that. But from an outside perspective, asking questions and stuff like that he's not obviously asking himself, I think would make for interesting content. So I think that would be really cool. I guess we'll have to ask when she gets down there.
Yeah, and again, this is a small crowd. I can say it. I'm a bit of a fanboy, so I really like his designs and what he does, and I own a few of his knives. And
yeah, hello, I'm
the Dixon's my top 5. Yeah,
Dixon is very much up there. Yeah, but Trish, I know they do tours, but I think what I want is something a little bit more personal.
Yeah, we don't want what everyone else gets, Trish.
Yeah, I don't want what everybody else gets. I want the special, like, go through there with you and Jonathan and Amy and have a conversation and like go through the whole ordeal with them while we're talking and not have a group of people with us and all that other stuff. I think that would be really cool. I think that would make for an incredible channel content piece, not only for us, but for you, for Jonathan, doing a kind of like an outside thing would be cool.
Sam, I want to pivot on the design thing for a second, because there are several designers that I can look at a knife and I can say such and such did that and such did that and such. I don't have to know who made that knife to be able to pick the designer in many situations. So one of the things that is unique about you is your stuff is all over the place. So you're right. So a question that I would have is, we've not really developed a brand, and that's something that's in the development and in the making, but design language doesn't seem to be a single factor for you. It seems to be very multifaceted, because there's so many different things that you're attracted to and design. And he's pulled it out a couple times, but Sam's got a manila folder that has easily 250 designs in it that they hit him, they come to it, and he sketches them out, and he's like, I'm not going to do anything with this one yet, then I'll go to the next one and I'll circle through and redo it. So as he sees them, he puts them on paper, and then he shares them with me, and then we kind of hone in on the ones that we think would be a good collab, the ones that be a good OEM. So the question that I would have, Sam, is if somebody were to pick up our knife, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
let's fast forward 5 years in the future. And
Mm-hmm.
somebody was to pick up our knife but not know that it was one of ours, what do you immediately hope that they recognize it's unmistakably Wyvern Kodiak?
Wow, that's a crazy, challenging question.
Yeah.
And I don't think there is something that I necessarily want them to figure out that way.
Hmm.
Here's what if there
Can,
were
can I pause you? Can I pause you
yeah,
while you think that through? Ray Laconico, I can almost always identify one of Ray's knives, and he's got a lot of different kinds of designs, but his language is very specific to minimalistic, clean, right? So, but I can pick one up, and if I don't know it's his, I bet that's Ray's. And then if I get to research, I'm like, yep, that's Ray's, and I'm probably 95% accurate on that. And
mhm.
so, but again, it's not like he's doing the exact same knife over and over and over again. So that's the so that's really where I was going is design lang. I think when and I'm kind of brainstorming because I didn't really think through my own question, but a couple of the things that I consider is I think there are design languages and I think there are engineering languages. Like Grimsmo to me doesn't have a design language. They have a phenomenal engineering language. I don't think they try to design a knife. I think they try to engineer something to solve for a very specific thing. And then however that comes out, it comes out.
Yeah.
Where a lot of other people say this is a creative outlet and I've got an idea and something that advances another thought to the next level. Or this is something I've never seen before, a la the Gracchus. I would like to have something like this to be able to use because I would love to have a big belly and a tip that comes down, right? You don't get both of those typically, and you manage to do that. So again, I guess that's where it goes back to is I think that you have more of a design language than engineering language, but your design language seems to be very spread out.
My so I'm going to answer this with three things that I want Wyvern Kodiak knives to be identified by. Okay,
Yeah.
now I don't necessarily think that it needs to be unique to Wyvern Kodiak per se. When I say this, every one of our knives, when they pick it up, I want them to say, geez, these freaking ergos are outstanding. Okay. We worked our tail off on the Gracchus so that when you put it in your hand, regardless of the size of your hand, you're going to say, this is a very comfortable knife. It
Mm-hmm.
feels good, right?
Mm.
I have one right here. Choke back, fantastic. Choke up, fantastic. Pinch grips, draw cuts. It doesn't matter. This knife is comfortable everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's because this knife is meant to go to work. And when it goes to work, I don't want your hand to be tired. I don't want your hand to be sore. I don't want your body to work harder than it has to for the knife. The knife should be doing more work than you. That's the purpose of a tool. If you're doing all the work, the knife is just the medium there.
You could
Well,
have got
that
a
doesn't,
butter. Yeah.
yeah, you might as well be trying to cut with a spoon then.
Use your
Okay.
keys. Yeah.
That's silly to me. The second thing is I want all Wyvern Kodiak knives to have good well, I want it to have great action. Okay. It doesn't need to be an absolute guillotine. I'm not talking about like one of your Grimsmos where you just flip it over and the thing goes dink and closes.
Yeah.
Like that's not what I mean.
Yeah.
What I mean is I want this thing to have a beautiful, controlled shut. I don't want it to be like one of those things where you got to shake it 87 times to close the thing. I want it to be nice. I want it to be a really nice, comfortable closing knife. This is great. Okay. This is a fantastic action right here. It is hydraulic. It is, I don't have to shake the crap out of it. It just does what it's supposed to do.
Yep.
There you go. A little bit of persuasion is what I'm going to call it, right? I assume once it's here, All I'm doing is rocking my hand and it's closing. Fantastic. So those are two big things that I want Wyvern Kodiak knives to be. 3 is it has got to be good quality. Okay, I'm not talking about a premium knife. Like I'm not saying it has to be Magna Cut Vanix or anything like that. Doesn't always have to be titanium handles. That's not what I mean. What I'm saying is when you get it, the build quality needs to be great. Okay. I am never going to agree to have one built through some sub company somewhere in the bowels of China or somewhere else that's going to build a sub quality product. It needs to be good. If we are going to put our names on it, I want to be able to be happy, proud of it, stand behind that product 100% of the time. If
Yep.
I ever don't feel that way, that product will never get introduced.
Yep.
Okay. Because that is us. We've put our blood, sweat, and tears, our heart, our soul, our brains, our time, and everything else, and our money into that. And
Mhm.
I don't want to give crap to our people.
Yeah.
And then
I
the
love that.
last thing I would say on that is, and you and I have discussed this plenty of times, it has to have a good pocket clip.
Yeah.
Okay. There is nothing worse than buying a fantastic, awesome knife that you can't stick in your pocket, and then it turns into a desk knife, a drawer knife, or just something that you pull out of your case, you flick it a bunch of times, and you throw it back in there because you can never carry it because it sucks. And
Yeah.
that's frustrating. I want the people to carry our knives. They are
I,
intended to be carried, they're intended to be used.
I think that you've heard me say this. I probably have 50 pocket knives and probably 250 desk knives.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. 100%. It has got to be, those things are absolutely mandatory. Now, am I trying to come in with a design language per se? I think I'd like to develop one a little bit more, but at the same time, I don't think I want to just be. Look, Ray Laconico is like my favorite designer.
Mhm.
Okay. You know that. I've said that 100 times.
Mhm.
I've even told Ray Laconico himself that.
When you
Here's the
hugged him, it was so awkward.
thing. Well, look,
I mean, you even told the cop who served the restraining order.
we weren't supposed to talk about this, remember? Um, he's completely kidding, by the way. I've actually never met Ray in person, just so you all know. Um, Help with Gadgets is in here. What's up, Tommy? Good to see you. Uh, Angelo, HTN's good to see you, man. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with us. Appreciate you. Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I think getting a design language is fine, and I think that's great. But at the same time, showcasing a variable of
Mhm.
capabilities is also something where this is where you said, you look more towards I design with engineering there. Like I'm
Yes.
I like to engineer things a lot more.
And
And the more
innovation's
that I
important
start to
to you.
dial in
Yeah.
this thing is the more I'm starting to find that I'm even doing more and more engineering now because now I'm starting to think of weird things to like,
Mhm.
hey, what can I do that nobody else has done?
Yeah, and I didn't mean that as you're not engineering things because you absolutely are. I just think that things tend to be weighted one way or the other. It's either very design intensive or it is engineering intensive, right? That started it. Usually when it's engineered, when that is forefront, it's I've got a very specific problem I'm trying to solve for or something I'm trying to make better. And I use Grimsmo as an example because the initially the Norseman being their first one, that was just different. And then they're like, hey, I want a frictionless folder, right? And it's something that drops.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what she meant. She said that Tommy was being mean tonight, and I see.
Found it.
Tommy, behave. You got to be nice to Trish. You got to be nice to Trish. Okay, come on, be nice, play nice, or else no pudding for you before bed. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and so I know there's a lot to it because you think about stop pin, and we've gone over and talked about, hey, this locking mechanism looks pretty cool. If we could do this, this, or this, or hey, I've got an idea and I'm right on the cusp. I'm finding a flaw I can't get around, but man, I'm getting really close to cracking this code, and maybe we can come up with a new lock that solves for these things. But
Yep.
where I'm going is you don't, and maybe you can correct me, but I think that you see something in your head and you start there, and then you're like, what else can I do to this for improvement, versus I'm going to engineer a lock that's just so damn different, and then I'm going to build a knife around that. Or there's a problem with this particular setup of something, and now I'm going to fix that and then design the rest of my knife. I think that it seems to be that you see the blade, you already know what you want from your ergos, and it's okay, how do I make this blade shape in my head match the ergos that I'm shooting for?
Sometimes, and here's the thing, it depends on where I'm shooting from. Okay, so for instance, and I won't say who on here just because things aren't things haven't come out in fruition yet, but there is a budget knife brand that has talked to us about making a design for them that they really want to kind of move up in the market more and stuff like that. And so, talking to them, I looked through their entire designs and I said, look, okay, you've got drop points, you've got uh, clip points, you have spear points, you have fixed blades, you have all this stuff. You don't have one utilitarian straight edged blade in your entire lineup. And so I actually talked to them about that. And I said, you are missing a huge portion of a market here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I can help you. You want one of my designs? Let me design something in this realm for you. So, right off the bat, sure, I've already eliminated anything with belly, right? So, yes, I do take different approaches to situations. But at the same time, I also sometimes throw wild crap on paper that I have no idea where it's going to go. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, dude, this looks stupid with a harpoon. Or, hey, this would look cool with a harpoon. Or,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you know, screw it. Let's throw a thumb stud in front of the hole and let's make it multi deployment options here and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. When I go from there, and then at that point, sure, I can turn around and say, let's figure out the locking mechanism from here. Other times I can sit there and say, okay, I really want to make something that's ultra hard use here and something, then my focus starts in that locking area. And, then I sit there and say, no matter what, this has to be an internal stop pin, right? Because I cannot have an external stop pin for something that is going to be pounded into the ground that I'm anticipating should hold hundreds of pounds of weight at the lock. And so those are the types of things that, it all depends. But at the same time, I also think about, hey, where am I thinking in not necessarily blade thickness, handle thickness? Because like one of the things I've been playing with lately has been I want to dial our tolerances down to be stupidly scary thin. I want to see if I can get like I'm talking like Oz Machine Company tolerance levels, right? What's that? 3 thousandths of an inch, I believe, was their tolerances.
Yeah.
Now, through an OEM versus through producing it yourself is a different creature to be able to get somebody else to dial in tolerances to your specs. And so I think I actually have that on one of ours.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the challenge, right? Because that's the flip side of design. There's always compromise. You've got to compromise every segment. And so I think that when you're not manufacturing it yourself, there's compromise there too, because they're thinking about production schedules and time that it'll take to do this, and R&D cost to get it right, and all the other components that go into it. And yeah, and they want to be much more conservative because they're running a business and they want to make money. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I get it. I would love to have a not an Oz type of tolerance on an OEM product.
100%. Or not only Oz, right? But
There's
I mean,
several out there.
Koenigs, the Hog Houses, the Holtz. I mean, all these
Yeah,
companies that are just the Blauroks. I mean, all these high end, fantastic.
but way to
But
name all
without
$1,000 knives.
right. But how can I do it in a sub $300 knife, right?
Yeah,
And that's where your design has to start to take shape. You have to be so intricately detailed, and that's really where I'm at right now with this stuff. Is I'm drawing things where what did Lutz say on the last one? I forget what it was exactly, but he said something like where my pivot was. And keep in mind, I'm hand drawing this before it goes to CAD, right? It was like some crazy like 32 thousandths of an inch close to where it had to be. Like he literally had to barely move it to make it exactly where I wanted it. And it's like, dude, you did that with crude tools on a drawing table with pencil and paper. Like that tells you how insanely anal I am to being into that level right now with stuff. So
yeah. Hey,
Dragoon, he knows someone right now that's actually has a great lock design, but getting the knife to fit the lock movement is a hang up. Yeah, and that is a lot of times the challenge. It depends on what the swing of the lock happens, right? It can always cause that. I have 10 locking mechanisms in my head, and every one of them has some sort of failure point that happens to be, hey, when this moves, this catches somewhere and this is a problem, right? So that is the engineering flaws of everything. That's the challenges of all these designs. And the Hawks out there, the Demkos out there, the Access Locks out there, the Chris Reeves when he put his stuff together, all this stuff all went through these pains and stuff like
mhm.
that. So it's what makes these people founders of and pioneers of and things like that. And I hope one day that I can stamp my name and Chris's name next to a design of some sort of lock that people are going to go, dude, that is crazy. These freaking guys blew my mind. They came up with this wild mechanism here and it works amazing.
That's why I'm so fascinated with Michael Walker. He's got like 17, or I don't know the number, but it's teens to early 20s or low 20s of patents on locks. I don't like any of them. They're not great locking mechanisms, but just the fact that they all work and they're
Yeah,
all
well,
different
and
is so
that's right,
cool.
and that's the thing. And if they work, okay, then you can go from there and start to. That's why I keep all the designs that you had mentioned before, right? I have a folder full of 250 designs or whatever, right? Probably more than that
Mhm.
actually. But here's the thing: I don't throw anything away. And the reason why is because you never know this spine, the way I made this, the shape over here, whatever it might be, may come back and be like, hey, this would fit somewhere on a future design somewhere. And
Yeah,
so,
you treat knife designs like I do children.
yeah, I exactly. It's 100%.
Yeah,
Um,
I was about to say
Adventure
pull
50
down.
says he's never met Ken Onion, but friends with Ken Onion Jr. Chris and I got to hang out with Ken Onion for a little
and,
while.
and told him he was wrong.
And told him he was wrong. Blade Show 2025. He told me to get rid of the finger choil on the Gracchus and to put all the blade that I can fit in that handle and all the cutting edge. And do you
Like,
don't
no
want?
thanks.
Yeah, I was like, cool, man. Um, nope.
You're a whole you are a revolutionary in this industry. You are the reason we have so many of these deployment methods and so wonderful. But all due respect, sir, you're wrong.
Yeah. Monster Hunter, you're right. Chris has an Oz machine. He has a Rosie XL, and it's spectacular knife. It's absolutely
So
a top 5 knife for me to get. Still, I would love to get a Rosie
I,
XL.
I was 20 minutes away from their shop yesterday, and my daughter had an event for back to school to go meet the teacher and get her locker and schedule and stuff. So I had to rush back, but I was so disappointed because I wanted to swing by there and introduce myself and get a look at the shop.
Yeah, man, that would be very, very cool. Fred says, I met Michael Walker at NYCKS Arts and Metal. He had one knife to sell. That's it. Knife? Car? Which one should I get?
Yeah, yeah.
Depends on what car you're talking about, man.
Man, his knives go for a bunch.
Yeah.
I think he sold a knife for 6 figures before.
I think you're right. And yeah, he does have some. I mean, look, you got sick stuff. You got sick stuff.
Yeah, it was probably Fred that bought it.
Sam and Chris, appreciate your friendship with my brother. Well, you know what? Your brother is somebody very special and dear to Chris and I, and we absolutely love hanging out with him, talking to him. But most of all was the last trip down to Blade Show, having him for the ride, having him with us at the hotel, and really just like him being a part of us. Like he really did fit in with us very, very well. You never know when you invite somebody to crash that you don't spend a lot of time with. You know, you never know with how that's going to go. I mean, you couple days in a hotel and you may want to just smother them with a pillow. But it turned out that Chris was just absolutely fantastic and a lot of fun, and it was a great time. And
We're talking about the unprofessional dad for anybody who is uncertain in the
yeah,
comments.
and so it's love him.
What a
Absolutely.
salt of the earth guy, and proud to call him a friend.
Chris is like the lost triplet to your family. Yeah, yeah, sort of. So yeah,
you didn't want to smother him with the pillow, just have a pillow fight.
That is hilarious. That is absolutely hysterical. My challenge to Wyvern Kodiak is to design not just an EDC user, but to design a heavy-duty folder, one that can baton wood with, feather stick with, carve wood with, for the user not collecting.
So,
interesting.
I think that if we adjusted the lock on the original Gracchus design, that's exactly what we would have.
Yeah.
I mean, we feather sticked a deck spindle till we turned it into a spear. I've done some light batoning with it, but I just did it through some pine, from end to end just to do it, and it worked just fine. But if we put a pin in it, it would probably be really good.
Beth, I don't know if you've realized how much I talk, but if I have to stick a sock in his mouth every once in a while, then I'm sure that goes likewise in return. So, I can't say a damn thing about it.
We laughed almost all the way down there, though. It was wonderful.
Absolutely. So, original Gracchus design, right? And so with the grind being lower on here, we did not get
slicing performance.
Yeah, when you were passing through cardboard, right? You get through a foot of cardboard before your material bunches up on you, right? And when you would pass through, like, say, ratchet straps or toe straps, okay, you would get a good clean cut of like 80%. and then you'd have to go in for the second one. And so
A lot of
for
belly.
me, what's that?
A lot of belly. So
It is a lot of belly. But the thing was that when we changed the grind and moved it up, it instantaneously solved every issue that we were really struggling with on that, because it performed well. It didn't perform great. But the thing is that you have a 4 millimeter spine on this knife, right?
Yep.
I mean, this is a slob. It is heavy, and it is meant to take abuse. It really is. If you, Lance, if I got rid of the blade hole, turn this into a thumb studded knife or even a fullered knife, okay, just to get rid of, because from a batoning perspective, I would say this is where a weak point would be.
Mhm.
But other than that, if you were to make this solid steel and change the locking mechanism to something with some significant strength, a la,
Or leave the locking mechanism the same, but put a pin in it.
yeah, but and it's funny because Faithful EDC and I were chatting a little bit earlier, and he got the new Vortex Model 1, and he said that the new one doesn't have a pin to turn it into a fixed blade. And he's like, I don't want my folder to be a fixed blade anyway. And so I understand that, and I guess it all depends on what the use case is for each and everything. I guess if I was purposely building it for what Lance was mentioning there, I guess that would make a reason for that to pin fit that. But if not,
we could turn the Gracchus into a folder survival knife.
Yeah, you could absolutely turn around and take this knife, and if I put something a la Scorpion Lock on here type of scenario, and I'm not saying the Scorpion Lock, just something like that, something that has a hook latch system that locks in, stuff like that, really bears down a grip on that. You can absolutely beat the living hell out of that knife, and it would hold up all the time. No question about it. So, but Lance, you've given us something to consider and think about for the future. Is, a all-purpose outdoorsman's knife type of scenario like that would be an interesting project for sure. So I appreciate the thought. That's actually a really cool idea, and maybe something that we can visit in the future, because we're not just one type of knife, as Chris was kind of getting after before. Sever Seven's in the house. What's up, dude? Good to see you, man. So we got 37 in here. So just quick update on everything. There is a link in chat. Make sure that you go to it, sign up for the giveaway for tonight. We've got a cool Best Tech Platypus knife, brand new in the box, customized and modded by our friend Jimmy Crow. I've got a new i3E EOS flashlight right here. I've got swag pack right here with a bunch of stickers.
Let me pause you, Sam. Let me pause you so we can say goodbye to Ramses. Thanks, brother, for what you do. Have safe travels.
Dude, you're leaving. All right, man. Sorry, buddy.
He doesn't win either, so he's good.
He doesn't win. Well, I'll tell you what. Okay. Ramses, you are always solid, man. So we love you very, very much, and really appreciate everything that you do. So thank you for coming in and hanging out, man. And if you get him and we're still on when you get back, come in and hang out with us still. Okay, so swag pack with Kelly's paracord, monkey fist in here. We've got a bunch of stickers. We've got a bottle opener keychain from Devo Knives. We have a Band-Aid dispenser from Devo. These things are really great. I keep them like in my glove compartment, several drawers around the house. They work great. And we have a drawstring bag from Demko Knives. shark bag. I'll call it that. It's like a big shark jaw on it. So, and it's a nice quality bag. It's not like the typical thin mesh crap that you get on the drawstrings. These are actually really nice. So that's the giveaway for tonight. It's been a little while since we've done one. So please enter the giveaway. The rules are simple. Got to be 18 or over to win. You have to be in the continental United States. If you're not, please just have a proxy. We're happy to send it to your proxy and they can send it to you. No issues whatsoever there. You have to be a subscriber to our channel. And there was one other one. And I feel like I'm so scramble brained tonight. So I apologize, everyone.
And it couldn't be me.
It can't be Chris. That is one of the rules as well.
The lovely and talented Mrs. Kodiak is in the background, and she said, "But it can be me."
It can be her. Oh, and you have to be present when we do the drawing. So that's the other one. So Wicked Dream Designs, what's up,
man?
What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us tonight. Saw a couple of your recent updates and videos on it, man. You are doing some really sweet work with that, some of that mirror stuff and whatnot, man. Mm-hmm. I'm almost tempted when we get the Gracchus. I may just kick you out one just so that you can go and mirror polish the thing. I think it would be sick.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be really, really sick. Maybe I'll send you out a couple of them. So
a blur pinkle mirror.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right?
And a stone wash, then you can go do whatever you want with the handle.
On the Edge EDC, need some orders, contact him on Instagram or on the Edge EDC at gmail.com. On the Edge EDC is doing some killer jobs on stickers, folks. So if you need channel stickers or any other types of stickers, reach out to On the Edge. Fair prices on everything, does fast work, does really nice work. We have him doing the Gracchus stickers for the production release. So reach out to Mike and he'll take care of you. So let's try and keep the business in the community because we always like to do that. And if we can share that, it would be great.
Check out Fred's comment at 1019.
I'm working my way there, sir. Come on, Sam. Where are you? Why did I?
We got another one.
Fill that Band-Aid dispenser with your fancy Band-Aids. Yeah, man. So, for those of you that for those of you not aware of what Fred's referring to,
My Medic.
Super Skin Band-Aids. So these things are absolutely ridiculously good. What's the company from this, Chris?
My Medic.
My Medic. That's right, dude. These things are fantastic. This one's I don't know. No, it's right here. I'm sorry. It is on the sticker right here.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying I'm wondering if we can get some branded with Wyvern Kodiak.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. But these things are absolutely killer. If you cut yourself good, these are the Band-Aids you want. If you just got like yourself a little dot, don't waste your money on these because you don't want a $1 Band-Aid for a scratch. But if you really catch yourself good, these things are fantastic.
It saved me a trip to the hospital in Atlanta. I'm serious. Check out Daddy Wyvern at 1021.
Okay, we'll be grabbing that in just a second. SC Knife Monkey, good evening. Welcome in. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us.
Hello, sir. And welcome in, Daddy Wyvern.
If I disown you as my son, can I win? On principle alone, no, Dad. My father's been hanging out and lurking, so good to see you, Dad. Thanks for hanging out with us.
If you adopt me, I'll bend the rules.
Yeah, Chris is up for adoption. So
I can be bought.
He can. Trust me. He's cheap too. That's the worst part about it. Got yourself good tonight. Might need more than a Band-Aid. Dude, you gotta be careful, man. Gotta be careful. But yeah, those my medics. So Chris got himself real bad last year at Blade Show. I'm literally like, we were hanging out, and I am walking into the bathroom to go hop in the shower, and I hear him just let out like a not a good sound. Like I knew something went wrong, and I stuck my head out of the bathroom, and he is holding his hand up, and blood is just pouring out of his hand, and he's like, "I got myself good." That was with a drop bear, right?
Yeah, it was a drop bear.
And I was like,
But again, it's I still go back. It's the MSI's fault. That
yeah,
was the catalyst.
well, and it changed your ergonomics, right? So it is
Considerably.
believable, and for
Yeah.
sure. So
These are also good from them when the
back it up for a second, Chris. A little, yeah. There you go. Yeah,
yep,
those are like zip stitches, right?
yep. So yeah, if it gets really bad, then those are fantastic. And
Yeah, yeah. Those are absolutely very very cool. Chris or Sam, what is the Gracchus box going to look like if you know? I do know. I designed it. Uh, um, let me see if I can. Chris, keep them entertained for just 2 minutes. Not even. I got to. I got to email myself some pictures.
I'm gonna try to juggle a knife and show you how to use the Band-Aid.
You don't even have to do that. You're such a freaking disaster. You'll just cut yourself anyway.
Where's my MSI? Let me show you. No, yeah, I think that's good. It's interesting because Sam and I were texting back and forth earlier, and I was saying that I don't care about the boxes and stuff. Like I keep all of them. I've got a huge cabinet just chock full of boxes in case I ever try to trade a knife or sell one or whatever. But
Which he doesn't.
yeah, which I don't. But the one of the things that I was asking Sam was how important is packaging, and
So
should it be
you're on, by the way, Chris. My father's going to draw up the paperwork for you so that you can.
jackpot. So how important is packaging? Because I was telling Sam I recently got a Holt came in this week, and the box is about as nice as a Migron box, right? There's zero special. Now,
No,
Grimsmo
that
came
wasn't
in
a
much
Hulk.
nicer.
That was your
Or
Shiro. No,
I'm sorry, you're right. Shiro came in that way. Yeah, Holt was pretty nice.
it's sad. I know Chris's friggin' collection better than Chris knows his collection. How bad is
Yeah,
that?
and I've been sitting here, flicking it. But that's one of the things that I was asking is like when I see something that's packaged really nice, I like it for the moment, but I'm really just trying to dig through it to get to what I want. But I also know that's pretty important. So what do you guys think? Is packaging important to you? And if it is, what about it is important to you? Is it a collector's piece? Is it well, is there some nostalgia there? What do you like about it? Or is it just you're like, hey, it's just part of the money that I'm spending. I would like it to go to that. For me, I would much rather not have, just wrap it in some bubble wrap and put it in a plastic envelope and mail it to me and I'm happy. Lower the price of my knife and send it to me that way.
All right. Enough entertainment out of you, sir. All right, so here I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and I'll show you what the packaging and stuff is going to look like for the Gracchus. So, the box of the Gracchus is going to look like this. It's going to be all black, top and bottom, with the original Wyvern. Yeah, I know. Wyvern Kodiak logo on the top of the box. Inside the box, you will get a nice canvas pouch with a Maker's logo on it. And it should be nice and like forget what it's called, but it's all not Sherpa, but like a fur material type of
felt?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that on the inside. It's going to be a nice material on the inside. We bought like the nice ones. And then with every knife as well is going to be a Wyvern Kodiak cleaning cloth. This is coming across black. It's not going to be black. It's going to be more like a gray color. It's just the way that this kind of got rendered. But that is what is going to be in there, as well as some stickers and stuff like that. So that is the packaging for the Gracchus.
And Volt says he wants a microfiber Wyvern Kodiak towel, not cloth.
It deserves one. You know, I think it's a bit late for that one, Volt, but I will tell you what. I've actually been thinking about some additional swag ideas, and that's actually not a half bad idea, is to look at some really nice cleaning cloth things that we can do. I mean, we have our hanks, right? But I'm talking about like some
Kind of what Devo
cheaper.
does. I
Yeah,
like
well,
Devo's towels.
Devo's towels are great, right? Actually have, here's one right here. And I think I have, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them at this point. But Kevin did say recently that that there's something about it that changed, and they're coming in like thicker, and they're not really as nice. So I'll have to do some exploring. We'll see if we can order a few samples from some companies and see what they got, and if there's something worth it there that we want to brand, we can absolutely look at that, Volt. That's actually a really good idea, man. Let's see here. Sister Stables, what's up, Kathy? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Where's your brother, by the way? Is he slacking tonight or is he working tonight? I know he's working tonight. He's a workaholic like me.
Yeah. And Monster Hunter, I agree that the McNeese box is killer.
What box?
The McNeese boxes.
McNeese boxes are nice. Yeah, I love his design on it. It's very, very nice. And my goal is not to have the same box every knife, by the way. Right? This is, I would like to do something unique or different, or something that is going to be different for every knife.
You have
I'm
250 knives. You have 250 box ideas?
No, I'm talking about every knife design, you jerk. You're such a jerk.
Well, no, I'm saying if you have 200, if each knife gets one, you got a stack of 250 knife designs.
No.
You have 250 box ideas?
No, the
One for
same
each design?
Oh my gosh. You see, this is called rage baiting, everyone. And in case you don't know, Chris is absolutely stellar at it.
It is a gift.
Zach Kennard, you should be proud. Zach Kennard, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. I'm trying to catch up. Sorry, folks. I really am. I'm so behind in here. It's terrible. Yes, Jack Wolf has that designer, that artist that does the boxes. I forget what his name is, but spectacular knife design, or box design on his stuff too.
We ought to hire Munko to be our box designer.
You know, that's not half bad idea, except for the fact that wouldn't that be? I don't know. Would that be like an issue for him since he's a knife designer?
I doubt it. He's also a music writer and a tattoo artist, and right. I mean, the guy's so incredibly talented. It would probably just be something else he could put on his resume that he's done.
Yeah, probably. Kathy, that's cool. I'm glad that he's hanging out with Pops tonight, for sure. Herman boxes are ungodly, even the more cheap ones. Yeah, Herman does some spectacular stuff. Vanguard does really nice knives. I'm sorry. Well, yes, they do knives, great knives, but they do really nice boxes. Um, who else does it? Machine
Grim,
Wise,
yeah.
Grimm's Mo.
There's this cool. Grimm's Mo's good. Yeah. Machine Wise is they're one step away from being spectacular. I love the design. I almost wish it was executed slightly better.
It's funny. I think they're like one of those strange knife companies where, like, I'll give you a for instance. Casey, Knives Fast. He has said a bunch of times that, like, he loves the Mojave if it had contoured scales, but because they're flat, he can't stand it. But he loves the knife overall. Just it's not comfortable enough for him to justify probably what $900
Yeah.
purchase ish.
Yeah.
So I get it. I definitely get it. It's one of those knives where it's not made for everyone. It's not really um, ergonomically comfortable for many, but at the same time, if you get one and you love it, you love it. Right? I absolutely love my Machine Wise, but I don't
Is your
love the
box
color.
handy?
No,
Is it
I took
no?
all the
Okay.
boxes out of my office down here and I
Gotcha.
moved them because I have literally run out of room
Yeah.
everywhere in this place. Like
Yeah.
it's insane. So yeah, unfortunately not, but they do a spectacular box.
I love the design and how it just sits down and the packaging where it's thin and tall. And again, it's just different than what everybody else does. And then when you unscrew it and that becomes your disassembly tool. Uh,
Hmm.
but I think if the
Yeah, and
material
they
was
include the
slightly more
bits.
durable.
They include the bits, they include the graphene lube, they include like
Hmm.
and not only that, but the tolerances of how the knife fits in a 3D printed model, right? Because and you and I have 3D printed a knife. And so the everybody's gonna laugh here. The shrinkage on those things when that happens is a real challenge a lot of times, right? Because where
Like
when
it
you had
fell
a
in the
hole,
pool.
this is going to go wrong really fast. When you
Keep
had a
going,
hole
please.
this big, but after it cools, it changes size.
It looks like it fell in the pool.
Yeah, yeah. It does get a little weird. They are spectacular.
And
Um,
Wicked Dreams did the same thing. 1036. Great minds think alike.
Wheezy3, what is up, dude? Good to see you, John. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. I am catching up here slowly but surely. Um, Yes, Vosteed's premium knife boxes, they're like the snap closed, like Pelican style cases are very, very nice. Vosteed does some really nice stuff on their premiums for sure. Um, I definitely agree with you there. Uh, Mach- Herman is greater than Machine Wise. I definitely agree with you. Ergonomically, um, Hermans are contoured and they're built far more comfortable. And the
He,
attention
he,
to detail on Hermans are, I mean, don't get me wrong, Machine Wise is a great knife. Okay,
Mhm.
Herman is a special knife, in my
I'm
opinion.
wondering if since we're on the boxes, I wonder if he's talking about the boxes as well, because Herman also makes, their boxes are really great. But you know who else is Rob Johnson boxes? I think are spectacular.
Rob Johnson's boxes are nice also, right? The wooden boxes, and then you
Yeah,
flip it over, and underneath the lid is the certificate of authenticity and all the details of the
absolutely.
knife. Yeah,
Yeah,
those are very, very nice. They're beautiful. And that's what the pool said. Excellent, excellent. Yeah. Um, Numb Knives boxes are cool. The tins, those things are really nice. They
yeah.
came very, very cool packaging on that. I could appreciate that for sure. And I think it would be really, really nice to to change the box from model to model that we come out with, right? So we come out with the Gracchus. The Gracchus is getting this box. The next one is going to be the Arctos. The Arctos model, we're going to get a different box, different packaging. I don't know what that's going to be yet. We haven't even gotten prototypes yet. We literally just signed off on the design, their drawings, so Riot's drawings of our design, so that we can move them into producing prototypes. So I would say we're still a few months off from seeing those. Unfortunately, I like Chris had said, I'm impatient. I want them like yesterday, and I'm really, really excited about it. So, but I don't know what the packaging is going to look like once we get it in hand and stuff like that. A lot of times you get, I don't know, you'll get a feel of something, and from there, Chris and I'll come up with something cool and different. And I did have a thought about it temporarily and then let that just slip out of my head. And I said, don't make choices so early. That's just silly. So very, very cool. The knife design that's coming though. So I'm excited. I can't wait to show you all that, but we are keeping that one a secret for now. Not that I have a premium Vosteed yet, but from what I've seen, well, I understand that. It's not a cheap knife. I mean, premium Vosteeds can run some bucks, man. So it's, not everybody has $300 to just drop on a knife all the time. So you're not alone in that. There's plenty of people.
Vosteed is such an interesting case study, I think. Like they came in, bought the industry with really well produced budget models, and then created outstanding, I would say, mid-tier models. And so with their premium stuff, I would call mid-tier, not mid-tech, but mid-tier. And they're outstanding, especially at the price point you're getting them at.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they are. They are. Well, hold on a second. Do I have it here? Yeah, I do. I did bring it out. I never know. I have so many that I bring out week to week. But even now, right? Like, look, this is the what is this called? The Xander.
Yeah.
Right. This is not super, super expensive. Don't get me wrong. It's not a budget knife either. That's 35, and this thing is like $160, $170, something like that, right? But this is a amazing knife. I mean, this is absolutely spectacular action on this thing. And I mean, Vosteed is just absolutely killing it with their designs, right? They just re-released the Thunderhead. They had a couple of those other ones that were like the Xeno and stuff like that. And dude, I mean, everything that they seem to be putting out, especially now that they have this Vancor lock dialed in a lot more, this thing is just beautiful. I absolutely love this thing. It is so much more responsive than their initial design drop on that. So I'm loving it a lot. They are doing really, really good stuff. Vault, yeah, the big wooden boxes on the full dress Hermans and like those really high-end Damasteel ones and stuff. Oh my God, chef's kiss. But at the same time, I mean, if I'm spending that kind of money on a knife, they better damn well have some decent packaging, because that is like a presentation piece, right?
Now, is that important to everybody else? Do you expect to have nice packaging with your knife?
Yeah. I that's a good question. Clayton, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in and hanging out, my friend.
Tell Dad we said hi.
Yeah, say hello to Pops for us for sure. So that you know what? Drop that in the chat, folks. I would love to hear from you guys on that. Chris and I have some good have a good question there for you all, right? What do you how important is the packaging of your knife? And I don't mean from safekeeping perspective. I think from a safekeeping perspective, your knife should be packaged for, if you're spending money, it should show up safe and sound. I'm saying presentation wise, when it shows up, how important is the packaging of the knife? For me personally, I think if I'm buying $100 or less knife, the packaging is inconsequential to me. I could care less. It means nothing. Okay. I'm going to take that. I'm going to toss it aside. I don't care about the box. When you start to get into the mid tier expenses, meaning, 150, 200, all the way up to like, say, 500, I don't need stellar boxing. I need nice boxes. I need just, kind of like what the Gracchus is getting, right? Top and bottom, either a foam insert or a zip pouch inside, something like that. And then when you get above that and you get into what, you get into the upper tiers where you're approaching the upper hundreds, thousand, and then beyond, I expect premium packaging. If I'm going to spend that kind of money on that, I don't think that the packaging should be an afterthought. Even though the knife doesn't live in the box, for some folks, it does. I have seen people where they have taken the Machine Wise Mojave and they've literally used the packaging without the lid on it as a desktop presentation piece, right? For the Herman that we were talking about a second ago, right? That box, you lift that box up and open it, like, it's beautiful. Like, that whole presentation is something that in and of itself could be a piece in like a built-in cabinet or something like that for somebody to look at.
And I'm saying just wrap mine in bubble wrap and throw it in an envelope. You don't have to box it. That's fine by me.
Thanks for coming in and hanging out, Mama Lou. We always appreciate you coming in. And thank you so much for your time tonight. And you have a great night. We'll catch you on the next one.
We did get an answer from Wicked Dreams.
Okay,
1044.
we are getting down there. Sorry, I am almost caught up.
Gotcha.
Gunmetal James, good to see you. Neil Mackenzie, good to see you. Appreciate you. You're super ghetto. Ziploc that bag. Oh man, yeah. To each their own, right? I totally get that. For me, it is a spend level thing, right? Strictly a spend level thing. And the funny part about it is here's the funny thing. The last Blaurock that I got came in a box like this.
Mm-hmm.
It had a bubble wrap pouch sitting in a little box like this, and I was like, dude, that's like an expensive ass knife to be sending in that cheap ass box. I was less than thrilled with that.
Over an ocean.
Over an ocean, yeah, all that kind of stuff. I was less than thrilled with that, to be honest with you. Bluminati Ninja, what is going on?
What's up, Blue?
Hope you are all doing well at the dojo, my bro.
And Kathy said that she likes to have a zipper pouch.
Yeah, a zip pouch is nice, right? I mean, here's the thing. It also depends, I think, where people are in their journey in knife collecting too.
Mm-hmm.
When you're first getting started, you don't have cases usually. You don't have, these Holmes and Hadfield things like you and I have, Chris. You typically don't have all those. So where do you want to keep your knives clean and safe? A lot of times you put them in the zip pouch because those things are at least have a little bit of padding and stuff like that. I do get that. So
yeah,
for sure, I there's a place for it for people.
Now I will say that I think it was my Devo Stout. When I opened that one up, I was really impressed by the pouch that came with it. Like it was like a faux leather, maybe.
Yeah, no, it was real leather.
It's real leather. Okay.
Yeah, I talked to Kev about that. Right, that's the reason why those were $375 is because it was like it was like $22 or something cost for their pouches and crap. So he was like, yeah, and he said in retrospect he would have done things differently had he gone through this again and whatnot. So
But I was really impressed when I opened those up. But yeah, I would have rather spent less money and again thrown in the Ziploc bag.
I hear you. I hear you. Mattisfaction, what's up, Matty? Good to see you, man. I hope your live went well tonight, man. You guys were cracking me up before I started this one tonight. I was lurking back there, listening to you guys do the would you rather's, and I was cracking up. There were a few of them that were pretty good. You guys are were definitely definitely entertaining for sure. Let's see here. Don't just throw a box with nothing. Put a little effort into it. Depending on the price of it, it actually costs a bunch of boxes. I've no room. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm saying, right? I mean, if you're throwing a budget knife out there, if I'm putting a design out there and I'm selling a knife for $60, like you're gonna get that accordingly with the packaging. Like you can't expect a beautiful knife or a beautiful package for a $60 knife, right? It's not meant for that. If I'm putting a $2,000 knife out there, you damn well best believe the packaging is going to be gorgeous. That's just it. Yeah, Herman Box $250 add-on. I have no doubt about that, Mr. Mouse. And you know what? If I'm buying one at that level, $250 more for that box, that is I'm checking that box.
And I'm where Deadhead's at 1046 on that same Herman.
I'm getting there. Miranda Keith says she feels the same way I feel about them. It's kind of like boxes kind of go with price points along the range, right? So, right on, and I think that's a fair statement there. Look, from the packaging that we did for the Gracchus, right? That's like $6 or something like that. $6 per knife add-on for that stuff, right? So it's not like a massive build into the pricing of the knife. I can assure you that if I invested that $6 from that packaging into the knife itself, I'm not going to get better action out of that knife. I'm not going to get better anything out of that knife. $6 isn't going to get me anywhere. Heck, belt satining costs $15. So it just doesn't happen. Right. So to spend that little bit of extra money to have people have a good experience when they unpackage it and have that is a nice thing. And then to be honest with you, it's Chris and my first design. I'm not saying that we're trying to blow your doors off and be like, wow, like this is the best thing since sliced bread. But I want you to open it and feel like this is a nice experience and like you're getting something of quality. If you're spending $300 on one of our knives, I want you to feel like you're being given a premium quality knife and not, a 2-bit, Amazon deal. That's just my personal feelings on that. Dad says, "What's up, dudes?" Heck yeah, Dad. What's up, dude? Ziploc with a COA.
Yep. I'm good with that.
You know what? That's the other thing I forgot to tell you guys. So every one of the Gracchuses is going to be numbered, and each one of them is going to come with a certificate of authenticity. So that will be in the box as well. So,
and Deadhead, I will try to put a Ziploc in yours.
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, maybe maybe just as a joke, we should just fold up a Ziploc bag and that's funny. Hey everyone, sorry you're late. Lion, not a sheep. You're right on time, brother. Good to see you, man. Dan Stan says he's with us on the boxes. Right on. And again, there's no wrong or right answer here, right? We're just curious. It's more of a conversation piece here. I think it's fun to have these conversations and learn what's meaningful to people. If boxes and designs don't mean crap to you guys, then that's fine. And if it does, then that's cool too. But it's just nice to understand what the community prefers.
Mr. Mouse said Strider's coming to Ziploc.
I kind of don't blame them. I'm sorry, I don't like striders. I have the off center bad action of a strider does nothing for me, and I have handled a bunch of them.
You know, it's supposed to be an overbuilt. You do, and again, you look at the original, the original Trinity, and
TW
that's my least.
knives.
That's my least favorite of the three. I do like Chris Reeve a lot, and I just don't like the huge flipper on the hinder. That's about the only thing I don't really care for. And I would prefer to have symmetrical scales.
Yeah,
But I do like the idea of having that three-way pivot system so you can swap out and get what you want. I think I like a lot of that. I like it being overbuilt. Again, when these all came out, they were different. But I'm with you. I was rider a handful of times, and I haven't flicked one where I went, I would like to own this.
yeah, yeah. I've only handled one once that I said was really nice, and it was modded. Somebody had sent Paul the hinderer and snipped it, and so it had no flipper, and that was actually really, really nice. And it was also a special edition. I forget what it was called, but it was blue scales and it had like a horse head on it, and it was really, really nice. Bluminati, good night, buddy. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. We appreciate
Good night,
you,
Blue.
brother.
Check out.
I like a nice box. I really want to have a nice box. Dude, and
You're a
that's the thing,
carpenter.
right? Yeah. I mean, I think, but here's the thing. Clayton and I have talked about this before privately, and he has mentioned that, right? Like, I think the aesthetics, the packaging, the delivery, the whole thing, like, you know, if you're going to claim to be a premium builder, you have to deliver premium. You know, and that's just it's not across the board, right? But I think that a lot of people, especially the people that aren't heavy user knife people that are just buying it because they want piece for the collection, they like to flick knives, and they're not cutting much of anything, if anything at all. They want the nice box. And I think the person that wants to take it out, throw it in their pocket, okay, they are going to not give a crap about what it's delivered in.
And you know, in Clayton's situation, he's doing it all himself. And so how do you keep up with the knives and the boxes and you know, do all that piece? And at the same time, I've received 3 packages from Clayton, and I've never been disappointed with what I've received.
Not at all. Not at all. And Kathy, the answer, there is a caveat to that, and that is yet, right? That is
It will happen.
yet thing. You guys are really only starting your journey into the knife collecting world of things, right? So I think you're just scratching the surface. You know, fast forward a couple of years from now, and I'm going to wonder if you're going to sit there and go, I'm out of room and I'm looking for some place to put more, because trust me, once you open the floodgates, it's there's no closing that friggin' river dam.
And Kathy, I would love to hear from you on what you thought about the Gracchus, because that's awfully big, and just want to know how did you do with it? I know Clayton's had it, you know, there for a while. So what, a week or so now?
Yeah, she was flicking it on the live the other day, and I know she handled it in Atlanta as well. But yeah, that's a good thing to mention, Chris, right? From a smaller hands perspective, because I had said before that when we designed the knife, we designed it with an ergonomics of flexibility, right? Big hands, small hands, all hands should be able to fit comfortably on a Gracchus. And so that's a very good question there, Chris, to ask. And Kathy would be a person who can answer that.
Yeah, and answer honestly too. She's a straight shooter, so that's why I asked. You know, not looking for flattery, looking for feedback. But I mean, that's one of the interesting things about the Gracchus design is it provides indexing, but it's neutral enough to fit in multiple hands and multiple positions. but you get natural indexing, which again, it's pretty bizarre when you get both of those things simultaneously.
Absolutely. Wicked Dream. I want my packaging to be able to do my laundry and cook me dinner. Never mind, it's just called a wife. Yeah, but Wicked Dreams, you don't really want one of those. Trust me. Wait. Oh, wait. Mine's probably asleep. Never mind. I'm safe.
Speak freely. Yeah.
I'm with Sam. Above 150, I want at least a foam insert to 300th, and then I want nice magnet closers. Okay, yeah. So you want like a Kunwu style box when you start to get that 300 number. So I mean that's a fair fair thing. Like you want a good quality box, and that is more than fair. I think that's very reasonable. So before we keep going, because we're up 46, we were just at 50 some odd people in here, so I know we're kind of flexing back and forth, and I don't want to get too crazy here, but there is a link pinned in the chat that is for tonight's giveaway. Okay, so make sure you're going to there and you are signing up for the giveaway. Okay, we want to make sure that everybody gets a fair shot at this. So we'll be drawing that pretty soon because it is 11 o'clock here. So we've been on for 2 hours. So next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to draw the winner on that. If you have not had a chance to sign up for the giveaway, please go in there and sign up for it. We'd love everybody to have an opportunity to do that. Rules are simple. Make sure that you are a subscriber to the channel. Make sure that you are in the continental United States. If you are not, please have a proxy so that we can send it to them and they can send it to you. Please be 18 years of age or older, and you have to be present when we draw. If you're not present when we draw and you are not here to say I am here, then you will not get the win, and we will redraw for somebody else. So that is it.
And real quick, I said that Kathy's a straight shooter, but can you pull Trisha's comment at 1054? Speaking of straight shooters.
And hold on a second. Casey, appreciate you guys just saying hello and a super chat bomb. Casey Spearon with the super chat. Always appreciate you, my friend. Much love. Thanks for stopping in and giving us some love on the channel. You're awesome, my friend. Have a great night. I hope the missus is doing well. And we will talk soon, my friend. Dragon Roar for you.
Yeah, 1054 for Trisha's comment.
I'm getting there, man. I suck. I'm so slow right now. You said 1054. 1054. 1054. 1054. Hold on. Packaging is the first impression you get about the product inside. It doesn't have to cost a lot to look good. Agreed. Agreed. It doesn't have to. I think if you put in some thought and you put in some design elements to it, it doesn't necessarily have to be a high expense to have an impact. So that is 100% correct, Dad.
I think that, like Wicked Dreams had said, though, we want a Ziploc, not an off-brand clear plastic baggie. So we want the good stuff.
Yeah. No Dollar Tree crap. We want it from Glad.
So that's the thing. Trish, I would love to hear more on your thoughts on Hinder and why you feel that way. I'm going to guess it's the size, the just being overbuilt. Looking at your collection, it seems like you really prioritize refinement and smoothness. You like a lot of your stuff has just beautiful milling on it. A lot of high quality machinist work. So I'd be interested to see what specifically you don't like. Is it the thick blade stock or is it just the entire package?
Fair. Mr. Mouse says, I'll send you a couple Striders that might change your mind, Sam.
Mm.
You know, I'd be willing to try it. I could tell you this. I have handled see. I've handled ones from $900 all the way up to, there was two at a local Pew Pew store that were $2,600 a piece. And I handled them. And when the guy told me the price, I literally laughed in his face and handed it back to him.
You're
And
like you're 1-0 too many.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, definitely 1-0 too many. As a matter of fact, if I would have had, and it was before the Gracchus arrived, if I would have had one of my own in my pocket, I would have handed him one of them and said, "You should carry these because they're way better."
Yeah.
That's really how I felt about it at that time. And again, I'm to each their own. There is a million different knife choices out there, and with a million different knife choices comes something for everyone. So carry what you love and don't worry about what others really think about it, right? That's really what I'm getting at with there.
Yeah.
So all right. So we're dropping a few people. We're down to 42. So before it gets that Crab Castle Forge, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I didn't even know there was a giveaway. I just love you too. Oh, we love you too, Kathy. And we know we usually try to do them on milestones. We don't want to be known as a channel that just does giveaways. Okay, and there's nothing wrong. If that's what your channel's about and you love doing the giveaways, that's totally cool. For us, we want to do them on milestones. And but the thing was that we forgot to do one on a certain milestone. And then when we did the pre-order for the Gracchus launch, we also kind of coincided with us hitting 1,000 subscribers, so we kind of did a whole lot all at one time, and I feel like maybe we might have missed something or a couple of events. So I dug out a bunch of stuff and said it's time to do a giveaway because I feel like we've probably missed out on doing some of that stuff for you guys. So yeah. Casey hooked me up with a sweet QSP tie slippy on his live the other night. What a fine gentleman. Yeah, Casey's a class act, man. Love that guy to death. He's such a good dude, does a lot for the community. And he's a lot of fun. He's very active, and we appreciate him. We appreciate his support. I appreciate his friendship. I've spent a good amount of time with him in Texas at Blade Show, Atlanta, and he's just super good dude. So absolutely agree with you there.
And the QSP, I've not played with the tie, but the QSP, I think it's the Hedgehog slip joint that I have, is by far second to none the sliciest knife in my collection, and second place isn't even close. It's amazing.
So the flipper is hideous. Yeah, the big banana flippers on them are pretty hideous, but the intent behind it is because he was a fireman, right? And so he designed it to be a fireman's tool where you got the thick gloves and everything and being able to handle it with that. But I do get it. For the everyday carry person, that flipper tab is obnoxious. For a person who is reaching in their pocket while they're wearing all of that crap, I'll bet you that flipper tab is the best thing since sliced bread. But I'm with you on that one, Trish.
And it's definitely an impedance to the fidget community.
100%. The jimping on the flipper eats your fingers when flipping it. Okay, that is fair. Too aggressive is never a good thing. I can understand that for sure. Biggest reason is the show side and the lock side don't match. Ugly. Somebody after my own heart. When the heels don't match the dress, as I used to say, and Chris used to make fun of me for it because yeah. Go back to our review on the Rosie XL, and you might find some Freudian slips in that joke there.
Yeah, I was going to say, yes. Sam's like, I want my bra and thong to match.
Yeah, I don't wear them turd cutters, man. I just can't do it. But wait,
No,
you wrong channel, James. Wrong channel, man. This is not Rob's Nerdy Knives. I will pull the lever on the giveaway regardless. I will
yeah.
thank you all afterwards so that everyone can get to bed. Um,
Uh,
and I love Rob. He's a good dude and a friend, but when I want to go to bed and I'm waiting up, I've got popsicle sticks holding my eyelids open while I'm trying to wait for the giveaway to be done, and it's like, oof, that's tough, man. So, Paul Mills, the good Mills, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. All
it,
right, so we're gonna
it,
get ready to do this giveaway.
let,
So one
let me
last,
answer. Let's answer Neil McKenzie one time, real quick.
where is it?
What knife is the big flipper tab? We're talking about hinders in general. They all seem to have huge
Oh
flipper
yeah, the
tabs.
hinderers is what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
So, all
The
right. Sorry,
big,
Sam. Go ahead.
the big banana front rear flipper on those things. They stick out like a sore thumb. All right, so we're gonna get ready to do the giveaway, folks. So one more time, I'm gonna give you guys just 2 minutes to get in. There is a link in the chat. Go ahead, click on that, go in, sign up for the giveaway in there, and we will draw in just 2 minutes. Again, you're getting a customized Best Tech Platypus. It's brand new in box, customized by Jimmy Crow. You are getting a really cool swag pack with Kelly's Mishmash paracord. You're getting a bunch of stickers. You're getting a Rebel Rouser bracelet. You're getting a Devo Knives bottle opener keychain. You're getting a Devo Knives Band-Aid dispenser, and you're getting a Demko. I don't know why I couldn't think of it because I'm half asleep right now. You're getting a Demko bag, right? So a drawstring bag, really nice quality too, with a little zipper in the front and everything like that. These things were really, really nice. And then the last thing you're going to get is an i3E EOS flashlight, still sealed in the package, brand new as well. So, and I'll get those out to you. Whoever the winner is, I will have that out in the mail tomorrow. So get in there, sign up for it. 2 minutes. So yeah, this was a fun live tonight, man. I felt like we had some really interesting, engaging conversation on this. I felt like everybody was kind of having a lot of fun tonight with this conversation. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're absolutely right. I was laughing at Trish at 11:08.
Oh boy, here we go. Whenever somebody says that and it's Trish, you never know what's firing off. 48 people in here. How many of you flip the knife with gloves on? Chris is the only one in here that probably flips a knife with gloves on.
Oh,
No, there's other
because
people.
I put them on to do it like in the garage, and because it's one of the things that I'm testing for is if we're making a knife for applications for people that work in the trades, are we getting the right? Do we have the right tools for them? And so I do it just to see. And the hinder, I would say, on two fronts. You've got you've got that big tab that does allow you to manipulate it with gloves on, but also it's a safeguard if you're using it as a makeshift and rapid pry tool and stabbing instrument because you're in a fire and trying to save a life or save your own or escape a room or something like that. So I understand it, but I'm with you, Trish. It's not for me. I'm not a fan of I don't plan on running into a burning building, so it's not one I carry.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That is fair. All right, so let's do this. We're going to pull this up here. Giveaway for today's live. Okay, and you can see here that we have 42 entries. Lots of people in here. Very cool. Makes me happy. Love seeing it. Let's refresh real quick here. Last call. Is anybody not signed up for the giveaway? Anybody at all? If you are not signed up for the giveaway, let me know that you need a minute. Otherwise, I'm going to draw the winner. Let me know. Let me know. Anybody, anybody. All right. We're going to draw the winner. Okay. The results are number 29, J1 Doobie. Number
Nice.
29, J1 Doobie has won. Congratulations, J1 Doobie. You are the winner tonight for the giveaway. So here is what I need you to do, my friend. I'm going to put our email address in the chat here. Okay, I need you to, well, hold on a minute. Let me unpin this message. Okay. Okay, that is our email address, wyvernkodiak@gmail.com. Do me a favor. I need you to send me an email, okay? I need you to tell me your name, address, and tell me that you won the giveaway for tonight's live, okay? Hey, oh crap, I'm behind just seeing all the congrats. Yeah, man, refresh the screen. But just send me an email, give me all your information, and we will get this package out to you. Well, if you send it to me tonight, it'll be out for you tomorrow. If you send it to me tomorrow, then it'll be out Friday. But it all depends on you as to how fast it gets out. But I ship fast. So as soon as you get me your information, I'll get the package out to you, brother. Congratulations. Nice little package to as far as the wins go. It's going to be very, very cool.
And
let's see. TC Blades, what's up, Troy? Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Appreciate you. Welcome in.
And Zach said that he's a firefighter. That's pretty cool. 18 years of volunteer fire department and on a search and rescue group.
All right, right on, right on. Congrats. Well, first off, thank you, Zach. You know, first responders are super important, and you know, they mean a lot to us, and so appreciate all you do for that, because it takes a special kind of person to be able to do that type of job. And you know, look, there's a good question. You know what, Zach? You are a person that could answer this. Do you think, or do you feel like a hinderer with that flipper tab is a sensible, yeah, is it a sensible addition to the knife? Meaning, when you have all of your gear on, do you feel like you can manipulate, operate that knife with gloves on and everything else? Or do you feel like that is something that Rick Hinderer is full of crap on, and he is selling us a bag of goods and playing the card of, I used to be a firefighter, so I know that this would work, and trying to kind of, you know, corner the market, if you will?
I feel, I'll let him answer, but I feel as if I have the greatest Hinderer ever made. I've got the one that Zero Tolerance did.
Oh, I was going to say, you have the ZT one, which is fantastic. Yeah. Which is fantastic. I really do like that one. That is probably the one I would definitely say is really nice.
But the flipper tab's a little too, but again, it's much thinner. You know, it wasn't made to be a fire and rescue knife. It was made to be an EDC knife that resembles a Hinderer.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. It's you're correct, right? It's in the shadow of a hinderer, if you will, right?
Yeah.
It follows the lines, but
Yeah, and I was being half facetious when I said, I've got the greatest hinder ever because it wasn't made by hinderer, but
correct. If I was still a firefighter, I would try a hinderer.
mm,
That's cool.
sure.
Yeah, I could see why somebody would want to try it at least. I'm just curious. I'm not a firefighter. I have never put on firefighter gloves, right? So I can't even sit there and say, yeah, I put these on. I can definitely think to myself how a blade with that kind of flipping mechanism would make sense. I can't speak to that. I've never done it. So, for me, it's just a curiosity. Todd Carr, I didn't see you sneak in before. What is going on, dude? Welcome in. Appreciate you hanging out with us
Yeah,
tonight. Big thumb
welcome,
studs
Todd.
or front flipper is needed for sure with gloves on. Winter is real.
Mm.
Well, you're in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. So I
Take
I
off,
would
eh?
imagine, yeah, I would imagine that is for sure an experience.
Zach did answer. There you go.
I believe with my fire gloves on, I'd be able to operate it. That being said, I'd rather use my SE3. House fires on average run 1,000 degrees to above 1,500. I'd much rather have the SE not moving parts.
I
Very, very logical answer there. And I agree 100%. I don't think if I was in that situation, I would want to worry about having to manipulate or operate something as much as pulling out a fixed blade knife that just it's out of the sheath, it's ready to go. And you know what? If your SE melts, don't they replace it for free anyway?
Yeah, they'll cover anything. And I was about to say I went outside 32 degrees. I think that I probably should have carried an SE3. So I can't imagine 1,000 degrees.
Yeah. The adrenaline is what allows us firemen to be able to carry 150 pounds of extra gear and still do the job. Heck yeah, I'm sure it does, man.
Well, that piggybacks off of what Neil said. He carried a buck 110 in his fire coat pocket, hence the 150 pounds.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of if there was some. I know we were talking about design earlier, and we kind of went all over the place. It got into packaging and it got into all kinds of crap. And let me ask you something, Chris, because you had asked me a good and interesting, challenging question before about design. And your ask to me earlier was, fast forwarding some years down the road, what is the design detail that would identify a knife as a Wyvern Kodiak design?
Yeah.
If you could design the way I design, because you've told me before you can't draw worth a damn, and which is why I take the lead on the design and then I let Chris kind of dictate to me how to help make things better and fix things and adjust things, because he doesn't see things the way I see things. But at the same time, I don't think through problems the way Chris thinks through the problems with things when it comes to knives. And so I think that really makes a great um, pairing to be able to kind of encompass everything that needs to be done in the design world. So I ask you kind of in return is, if you were in my situation, what do you think your tell would be that it is a Wyvern Kodiak design, or that you would want our brand to be known for in its own sense? Ray Laconico is streamlined, minimalist, clean. Right? That is an identifiable thing that is consistent throughout his entire designs, with the exception of those saber-tooth, the Wolverine, and the honey badger. Pretty much everything else is pretty normal, right? Those are the only weird shapes that I can think of, really, all very weird shapes, right? Leaf blade type of things. But anything else has been pretty identifiable as clean. So what do
Yep.
you think as far as our designs go? I carry a Gracchus, but that thing starts fires.
That's
Oh,
fantastic. I was going to say before I answer, I wanted you to pull that one up. That's fantastic.
oh man.
So, so I
Battery
can't.
gets you everywhere with me, just so you know.
Yes. Um, I would.
Thank you, Kathy.
Functionality is the first piece for me. And that's why I can't see it the way that you see it, Sam, because a design for me starts with what is the intent that it's supposed to do. I want my cutting knives to first be good, really good cutters, right? Or my cutting tools to be good cutters. And so that's the first thing that I go to. I don't see a design that will also be a good cutter. I got to solve for a problem. I couldn't get a knife into a certain size. I've got my hands down into something and I couldn't get the right leverage to cut through something. How can I fix that?
But
I
why?
go,
But why does your design have to solve a problem?
well, because that's just how my mind thinks. I
Okay.
if
Okay. So
if there
it's
there's
a
nothing,
personal mental thing for you on that.
yeah.
It's okay. I get what you're
I,
saying.
anything that I do that's creative starts with what am I trying to improve? Just and I think that for me that's the challenge is you see something and you can say I can make very functional art and I can make this thing work and I've got this idea that I've never seen before and I'm inspired by something and I can make it something completely different. But yeah, example, Evo, Padre, etc., made you go, you know what? I can design a knife. I like those things, but I see something that they fell short on from what my vision is.
Good night,
See,
Kathy. Thanks for
yeah,
hanging out.
and and
Always
so for
appreciate you.
yes, ma'am. So for me, I go to a place where I I don't have that capability. I can see something and say, what would I do differently if this was mine? What would I like more about this? Or I'm always every time you send me something, I'm like, where the hell's the texture, right? Like every single time because in the first draft there isn't milling, there isn't jimping, there is right. It's getting the shape down and getting the mechanics correct, and will this open and close right? Where my stop pins go, right, and things like
Does it fit in the hand? Does the
that.
blade fit in the handle? Is it safe?
Yeah, and
Right?
and my mind immediately goes to what am I going to use that thing for if my hands are wet? If and wet's different. Am I doing something in the rain? Am I using this to field dress an animal? Right? Those are two very different kinds of wet. One's oily and greasy, and the other's just a little slippery, right? Or breaks traction a little. So, okay, is this thing got lock me in if I'm going to use it for this or that? Am I going to be using this around chemicals? Am I, what would I be, what, and as you know, I I prepare for a lot of different things every day. I typically have bags of stuff that are ready, in the car for whatever challenges the life may bring. And same thing when I leave to go to work in different scenarios. I've got a whole bunch of small bags, and I'm like, okay, this is the challenge I could run into. This is the challenge, and I grab these modular packs and I throw them into a bigger bag and say I'm taking these with me, to have this prepped. So my mind is always about what challenges do I refuse to lose to, and how does that knife help me in that challenge? And that's why I can't see a design. So what I would want for Wyvern Kodiak is quality first. As you've heard me say many times, when is good enough good enough? Yeah,
And for me, I will
and
tell you honest answer on that last part. Okay. When is good enough? Good enough? Never.
yeah,
And the reason why I say it's never good enough is because the minute you stop striving for the next level, okay, I feel like you failed yourself. I feel like you failed the people that you're trying to provide a quality product to. If you're never trying to get better and exceed your own expectations, your own bounds, you're never going to grow, right? Growth comes from challenges, from obstacles. Growth doesn't come from comfort. If you sit back on your haunches and you do nothing, you'll never get anywhere. And
Yep,
you know that you're a leader. I'm a leader in our companies, and we both probably have had these conversations with our teams at some point throughout our careers where we've talked about
definitely.
working harder and exceeding challenges to grow. And
Yeah.
so,
But
now,
what I've
go ahead.
stolen from someplace else is the motto of better, better, never best. When
Yeah.
I'm best, I become complacent. When I'm striving to be better, I'm always trying to refine something and make it a little bit better, improve a process someplace, improve an outcome someplace, change the inputs to get a desired output that I'm looking for. So those things are always on my mind, but that's why I can't create the art piece of it, of something from new, because everything, all of my problem solving starts with what problem am I trying to solve.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. And Wicked Dreams, you're a good example, right?
Yeah,
I've watched some of your mods and stuff like that progress,
I'm
right? And
so inspired. Yeah.
yeah, the quality of what you've done,
Hmm.
where you're not sitting back, you're learning more, you're getting better. And so that's exactly what we mean by that kind of stuff, right? Which is very, very cool.
Yeah.
Good night, all. More good times tomorrow.
See you, Miranda.
Yeah. Have a great night, Miranda. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. You have a great one. We'll catch you on the next one. I did want to add something that what you said before, right? And so I sort of wanted to solve for a problem when I made the Gracchus.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I took some inspiration from really, I know you had mentioned the Evo, and the Evo and the Padre have a very similar, same blade shape style, so it's very easy to kind of mash them together. I didn't have an Evo at the time, so I was really looking at the Padre at the time, but I also was looking at something else at the time, and that other thing I was looking at was a Spyderco.
Mm.
And I've heard so many people talk about a Spyderco being like the perfect EDC knife type of thing, right? And look, I get it, I do, but the perfect EDC knife to me still needs to be super comfortable in hand. And though when you take the knife and you put it here, you're locked in very nicely. But when I white knuckle this thing, there is more hot spots than I care to mention because I haven't modded the scales on this yet. Okay.
Yeah.
But
But
you know, they're
factory isn't very comfortable.
correct. They're
Yeah.
flat. There's no softening the edges. There's nothing. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to take something and say, okay, how can I make a nasty, thick, heavy duty, aggressive, slicey, utilitarian, super EDC knife that is ultra comfortable in your hand. I did
Hmm.
want to solve for a problem. That was my intention. Sure, do
Hmm.
I want it to look good? Absolutely. I want it to look good too. We eat with our eyes first, right? It's the same thing when you window shop for something, whether it be a knife, whether it be clothing, your eyes bring your attention to it. So I want to attract people visually to it. But I also wanted to make sure that, A, it was all the functions that I had just mentioned. B is aesthetically pleasing. And C is didn't want it to be like everything else.
Hmm.
Okay. I wanted it to be something where our first knife was just it. You can't identify it. What's the blade shape on it? Go ahead. I don't know. What did we wind up calling this thing? A sheep's muck?
Yeah.
Uh, a, a worn muck? I mean, it was like
Yeah.
it's a nest muck. It's a sheep's foot. It's a drop point. All kinds of blade shape. I took the best of what I felt from each type of blade shape and I mashed them together and created something new.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea.
Yeah. And I agree, but I yeah.
Not even close. Not even close, man.
Um, I think that it's one of those things where the recent video that I did, I liked the smock. I had to go in and make alterations to make the smock something I loved. But but the beauty of Spyderco is that they make a great foundation and let other people do the finishing touches. And I have ability in mind to create a great foundation, but I can critique the hell out of yours, right? And I think that that's where it works out, because you come up with this great idea, and then I'm like, oh, I would like that if it had this, and this. And you go, oh, good thought. Or you go, well, why would you do that? And then we have a discussion about it, and then we're like, oh, I can see where you're coming from, or this contradicts what I was thinking. I'm like, okay, what were you thinking? Okay, then what is route? So for me, it's I want my cutting tool to be a good cutter. I want whatever our intent is to be executed, and I want somebody to feel like they bought something that was truly engineered and not just assembled.
100%. I don't want it to just be feeling like that, which is why I think we spend the time that we do thinking about the little
Yeah.
finite details that so many people overlook. I mean, think about how many people think a pocket clip is an afterthought.
Yeah.
Okay. And at the same
That was the
time,
first thought for us.
yeah, it was. I don't ever want somebody to tell me that my knife became a desk knife or a drawer knife, right? And that was something that you and I talked about very, very early on.
Yeah.
And so I'm with you, right? And Adventure 50, you're 100% correct. And
Absolutely.
Chris and I have talked about this before. We could put our hands together like this, and we are like a millimeters difference in our hand size, thickness, width, everything. Our finger size, everything is identical. And his ergos are completely different
As
than
soon
mine.
as we close our hands, everything changes.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I have figured out an awful lot about the ergos when it comes to stuff like that without having to necessarily make them neutral. And I say this because, and I know we didn't get to connect the last time I was in New Jersey because of how sick I got, but um, the Gracchus ergonomics, I have yet to have somebody tell me that they aren't not just good, spectacular. Okay. And there are several people in this chat right now that have handled um, that knife. And I would say any person in the chat right now, and Wheezy3, I'm looking at you because you're one of the most recent ones for sure. He handled it with his son in Texas. Okay. I challenge any person in this chat here that has handled the Gracchus to come out, and I won't be offended. There's no reason to be. Ergonomics are individualized. You can't be mad if the ergos don't work for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Can anybody in here that has handled the Gracchus at all tell me that they do not think that that knife is incredibly comfortable? Because I haven't yet had somebody tell me, and I have had that in every major, with the exception of Metal Complex. I have put that in the hands of every major content creator from Melissa Backwoods all the way down. Okay. So it doesn't, and Adventure 50, I'm not picking on you when I say
Yeah.
this. What I'm saying is you're 100% correct that ergos are different for everybody.
Yeah.
But what I'm also saying is that there are formulas to ergonomics where you can make one handle that can fit multiple hand sizes and not one person can complain about it because you've touched every spot you're supposed to. And that's where I focused myself on. Wait, hold on a second. It's absolutely great. And Josh has much bigger hands than I do, and he loved it too. Thank you. Gracchus has great ergos. Thank you.
You know, like you said, Melissa Backwoods, Alex Outdoors, Evo, G5 Goods, yeah. Fantastic.
When I held the Gracchus, my exit points to run away were too far at Blade Show, so I had to hand it back. Sad my life.
You look, you know, thank you for that, because you know that you could easily outrun Sam and I.
Yeah, that's true, man. You probably could have ran backwards laughing and holding it in front of you, going, "You'll never catch me," and we wouldn't. I would have given up after a little while anyway. I get tired quick. I'm getting old. Chris is already old, so
I'm already old, yeah.
You know, and Lance, that's you're 100% correct. It's just we want. It's how do you create something that is all encompassing? You can't, right? I've said this before. There's no knife that can do every task across the board. Okay, there just isn't one that I can figure out yet from that perspective. But I can tell you that I've created the closest thing that I could come up with initially for a design as to, can it stab, can it poke, can it slice, can it dice, can it do utilitarian everything's, can it do all that kind of stuff, can it be comfortable in your hand for a really, really long period of time without exhausting the user, and last but certainly not least, can it go in and out of your pocket with ease without it winding up being a drawer or desk knife because the pocket clip sucks and you just don't want to carry it. And I think when Chris and I went through all the boxes, other than having to change the blade on the prototypes because it didn't check those boxes for us, and we answered that with blade number 2,
and it was close. Like we really had to put a lot of thought and effort into that, because it was like, but again, that's where we asked the question: is good enough good enough? And we came back with no, it's not.
So it's a bit large for your hand.
That's
okay,
fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, and Fred has said that, Trish has said that. So you're not the only person that has said it's a bit large for your hand. My question is this, though: even though it was too large for your hand, did you find that it was uncomfortable? That was the real question. I'm not saying it was a fit. I'm just wondering whether or not it was an uncomfortable situation for you. Did it being too large create a spot of uncomfortability on you because it ergonomically wouldn't work for you? So, same, lucky for them, there was a table full of knives and boss ladies present. I might have.
Yeah.
You see, you guys are just picking on me. You guys are picking on us, and it's not nice.
Yeah, like I'll be honest. I wouldn't have chased you. I just would have been like, let's just write that one off. You know, go ahead, Sam.
So, Adventure 50. When I hold it like this, I have no hot spots. Okay, but here's the thing: I'm not bearing down on anything. If I am getting ready to grip into this thing to push through some material, okay, I am now feeling all of this texture here. I am feeling every edge that is not knocked down. Yeah, we know the pocket clip sucks on this thing, so we're not even going to pick on that, but I feel the pocket clip too. I don't mind it on the spine here. Okay, and keep in mind, this is bare stock. This is how it came out of the box. I haven't played with this thing yet. I haven't modified it yet. Okay, I have a set of scales, custom scales, ordered for this. So I will have them soon, and then this will be way better. But for the time being, as is, okay, if I put white knuckling power behind this knife like I'm going to do a hard job with it, that is where I get a whole lot of hot. And it's not a little hot. It's not just one spot like down on the pinky like some knives. I mean, this knife is just genuinely one big hot spot for me.
And I did the AWT scales on mine, and it's much more comfortable. But this was one of the lightweights that came out of Blade Show, and they were $80 because they were seconds, and I wanted to maxim it. I didn't buy it because they were out of them when I got there, but the Unprofessional Dad picked one up for Faithful EDC, and then he called me up a couple months later and was like, "Hey, you want to buy this?" And I was like, "Sure." And I did the same thing. I didn't like the FRN, so I ordered the AWT scales and threw it on there, and it's made it much better. But look at Dragoon's comment that, yep.
Yeah, I saw it. I didn't feel any hot spots on the Manix 2. The whole thing was hot garbage. And then he followed up with, "He kids, it's just a joke." So nobody beat up Dragoon. He's just a character. We love him.
Yeah, but
go ahead, man.
But Spydercos aren't your thing, right? Like your whole time in collecting, it's been some of them I appreciate, most of them I don't. And I don't blame you, because the first thing that you're attracted to is the look. And I hated the look of mine, but it was the first knife that got hobby once I actually bought one and used it.
But I have a Bodacious, right? And it's flat scales. Okay, I haven't upgraded this one yet either. And this is not anything like that. To me, this is far more comfortable. I could definitely work harder with this knife and feel like I could probably go a lot longer before it would bother me. Do I feel the edges of the scales? Sure, they're not knocked down, they're not rounded. I can certainly feel them. And I probably guess that in a half hour of working hard with this knife, my hand is probably not going to feel too good. But the Manix is like, I mean, it's just out of the gate, right? So I think that's where I'm going with that. Is that no, I'm not a Spyderco person, but I absolutely respect Spyderco. I think Spyderco is fantastic. I'm not knocking them and saying they're bad in any way, shape, or form.
But it's not what you're drawn to initially. And ironically, you've got a Manix 2 that's very uncomfortable with the second longest lasting edge material, right? I assume Magnum X is second to Rex 121. So, but you know what I mean? It's built to go forever. The blade is, but the handle doesn't complement it. And again, I said before, I want anything that we do to feel engineered and intentional.
Absolutely. I agree 1,000% on that. Ergos were great. Can't wait to get mine. Mr. Mouse, much appreciated, brother. And that is what we want, right? We want people to still feel like that knife is, it can feel big to you, right? And it is. It's a big knife. I mean, the Gracchus is not a small knife, and I know people that have said they're not going to buy one because it's just too big, and I respect that. I get that it is not for everyone, but I don't want anybody to ever tell me your knife isn't comfortable. If that's the case, I feel like I failed. All right, and then I shouldn't say that. What I should say is, if there were repeats of that, if it was a couple one-offs, 500 people touched my knife and 2 people said it was uncomfortable, I'm okay with that number, because that tells me that, they just have some completely different and unique ergos that are probably not on par with most other folks. But if 50%, 30%, 20% even tell me that this isn't comfortable, that tells me that I didn't do my job. So, that's just the way I feel. Pocket clips are huge, but never a deal breaker for me. I've never not carried a knife because of the clip. I've changed a lot of clips, That's the reason why all my jeans have wear on the clips from the clips, and that's fair. That's fair. I can tell you if I can't put a clip in and out, if I can't slide a knife in and out of my pocket one-handed with a level of ease, I don't want to say complete ease, okay? Because that wouldn't be fair. Okay, if I can't slide one in and out of my pocket one-handed with a level of ease and consistency, chances are that that will be what hinders me from continuing to carry that knife repeatedly. I'm not saying I'll never carry it, but it probably wouldn't be the one that I reach for if I do. That will be my left pocket, not my right pocket knife at that point, because that's not what I'm going to reach for first.
Yeah. And Lance, we've
Yep.
enjoyed hanging out with you too. Thanks for making it entertaining tonight.
Yeah, man, absolutely, and appreciate the interaction, man. I love the input, I love the feedback, I love the thought process that everybody is putting forth in this. Right, this is how designers learn. We learn by what the community feeds back to us, and how you buy knives, how you view knives, how you view or reasons why you carry and things like that, because this is what inspires us to design things and do things and uh, adjust the details of designs, because maybe those things aren't what works best. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah.
Donnie Plus popped in.
Hang 1 second, buddy. Yes, certain clips are absolutely pants pocket wreckers, and that's why if you look at all of my reviews, Todd, I test every pocket clip that comes through my desk, and one of the things I say is, for those of you new to the channel, I'm going to put this pocket in the knife. I'm good. Yeah, this pocket in the knife. Try that one more time, Sam. I'm going to put this knife in the pocket and test how easy it is to slide in, how good the retention is, how easy it slides out, and any long-term damage or fraying it does to the edges and seams of the pocket. Because I want to point out to the public and say, hey, you know what? This clip is going to be good, bad, indifferent, and hey, this is the type of thing that's going to chew your pockets up on repeated use over a period of time. And let's face it, even good ones will chew them up over a really, really long period of time. We all have frays on the edges of our pockets, but there are ones that are going to do it really, really fast, and they're going to be the ones that you can do for a really long time, and you're really not going to get much damage on that. And that's really what we're talking about here. Now, I'm sorry, Chris, you had said something, and
yeah, Donnie Bless popped in.
I have a long clip. Tell your rich friends. What's up, Funky? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming in and popping and hanging out for us.
And
Appreciate you.
yeah, and Todd, you were right. I did say Maximate, not Magnamax. I talked about both of them in two different contexts, but yeah, you nailed it with Eddie at K390.
That's hilarious. Haven't got to hold the Gracchus yet, but it reminds me of the BMK Ether, one of my favorite knives. So Chris has a BMK Ether. I've handled that knife. Excellent knife, by the way. Blake really did a great job with the design. And as a matter of fact, in a weird way, Blake's design, was a step ahead of us. That was his first design. Gracchus was our first design, both from Best Tech. Both premium builds, things like that. So I don't want to say there was a comparison, but in a weird way there was.
Let me turn them around here. So I've got the old Gracchus, but that's the difference between.
Chris, can you hold it back more? Can you hold it back from there?
There you go. Yeah. I can't see through my hands at the screen. So.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying you were so close that it's. Yeah, the ergos on the BMK Ether are a bit neutral. Obviously, no harpoon swedge to the Gracchus, but
where I, again, might be biased, but I do think that the Gracchus is more comfortable. The Ether's good, but I think that the Gracchus gives you more spots right away. We're a little bit bigger, thicker on the handle, so in bigger hands anyway, it fits better. So again, that subjective piece of how does it feel in your hand, it could be completely different.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't have it here. We don't have it set up for overhead and all that stuff. I think in a better angle system, laying it flat down and being able to do size comparison stuff like that, you can see some of the differences. The Gracchus is a bigger knife. There isn't a question about it. It's kind of hard to see that on the camera here, but again, I'm not taking anything away from Blake and the BMK Design Ether. That is a fantastic knife. I do like that a lot. And
The
yeah,
Ether's right behind it.
there you go. Okay, yeah. So it's a little bit taller of a blade. It's a little bit longer overall.
Mm-hmm.
I would say um, the Ether is certainly thinner blade stock. Right? So that's
Yeah,
probably like a 3 millimeter, and you're
yeah,
looking at you're looking at 4 on the Gracchus. So the Gracchus is a thicker spine knife. I would say the hollow on the new blades of the Gracchus is thinner.
considerably thinner.
Yeah. So it is again, it's a different creature, but an excellent design nevertheless.
Yeah.
So um we'll see soon. Both great designs. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, here we go. I heard him say Dragoon's Gracchus. I may have had a little too much salad in the garage. Oh man, yeah. That's
That's
hilarious, man.
fantastic.
Oh man. Uh,
Yeah.
and she's thick, and the Ether looks like a stripper that works the day shift. Oh my gosh. That's terrible. After playing with the Gracchus, I want one so bad because the design, feel, and the individual unusual collar. Oh yeah, the Blur Pinkle. I would show you the Blur Pinkle, but right now, Burning Stables Forge Clayton has the Blur Pinkle version down there. I had sent that down to him. So we are sans Blur Pinkle for the live, unfortunately, but he's taking good care of it and enjoying his time with it, which is cool. What's a millimeter? All you have to do is look down, Donnie.
Yeah. He measures in blade stock thickness. We measure off of what the calipers say, off of the
That's
metric system.
hilarious. The salad is
Salad
good
is good
tonight.
tonight.
Yes. Is it tossed? uh, Clayton is definitely Blur Pinkle. I don't know if Clayton is here right now still, man. So you can't pick on him if he can't defend himself. We just you gotta have rules of engagement. But all right, folks, it's coming up midnight, and we've had a blast. But I think we're gonna call it. I have to go to bed. I have to get some sleep tonight. Uh, I've got to get up and take the kid. I have got to take the kid to school
Shut
tomorrow.
up, Donnie.
Shut up. I'm not picking on you. You're picking on me.
Uh,
So appreciate you all coming and hanging out tonight. Much love to all of you. Awesome live tonight. Really had a lot of fun with this conversation. A lot of great engagement tonight. And I am hoping that we can do another really fun one like this soon. I think next week, we'll see if it's going to be next week or the week after, but we're going to invite another guest on, and it's going to be an interesting one. So can't wait. Awesome fun time tonight. So thank you all, every one of you. J1 Doobie, awesome man, appreciate you. I will get in there tonight. I'll pull that out. I'll make sure that you're packaged up and you're in the mail for your winnings tomorrow, sir. So Chris, what do you got to close us out with tonight, my brother?
I just say thanks everybody for joining. I've had a great time. I've loved all the participation, and you guys certainly make this journey so much more enjoyable for Sam and I. We truly appreciate you. And it isn't just the engagement, it's from learning from all of you and hearing your ideas and your thoughts. And it's been fantastic. And so the final thing is that we truly appreciate walking out life with you. So thank you very much.
Yeah, and I will absolutely echo that. We learn a lot from this community. We learn a lot from other knife designers, makers, manufacturers. We're both sponges soaking up everything. We know we're not perfect, but we're looking to make each and every design, each and everything that we do better with each step that we take. So we can't thank you enough for that, for the support and the love. We love you all, and you're amazing. Have a great night. We will catch you around the community, and
See you
have
next
a good
week.
evening. Yeah, and we'll be on next week. So take care, everyone. Good night.